miners from the forest reserves where they are causing destruction and settle them on the concessions where the big mining companies have ceded. As I speak, Newmont has demarcated an area for these small-scale miners. And we have asked the big companies to mentor them and supervise them and make sure they do the right thing. So that was going to be an alternative for moving them out of the forest and other places so that they can mine under the supervision of those companies. And that's where our colleagues were going when the helicopter crashed. And so it's a program that we're going to continue so that we can give them an alternative, not just go chase them around without finding something else.
EpaHoaDaben.
I've been reluctant to implement a state of emergency in the Galamsey fight because we've not exhausted the powers we even have without a state of emergency. We have the opportunity to arrest anybody, to confiscate any such thing. There are laws for forest protection and all that give us enough powers to be able to act. Implementing a state of emergency might sound nice, but it should be the last extreme, the last resort. So for now, let's exercise all the powers we have. And if it becomes necessary for a state of emergency, then we'll look at it. It means we have to go to Parliament. The President can't just declare a state of emergency without, going to Parliament because there's a limit to how long you can maintain that state of emergency. And so I believe that we still have leverage to continue to fight Galamsey without necessarily implementing a state of emergency. It means that we have to delineate the areas where the state of emergency is operational. And if you look at the area where Galamsey is taking place, it covers several districts of our country. And so we would do it if it becomes necessary. But for now, I think that we've given the security services enough powers to be able to deal with people who are found to be involved in Galamsey.
EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben.
This Galamsey matter, which has risen a lot in Ghana today. In the last election, in the mining districts of the country, the MPP did very badly. Why is it? Because the NDC presidential candidate and the party had gone around the mining areas and saying that the policy that I was implementing of trying to stop Galamsey would be reversed when he came to power, and that those who were already in jail for offenses, the Galamsey offenses, all of them would be amnestied. When I said I was putting my presidency on the line, that's what I meant. That I was prepared to take the political risk involved in trying to deal with this Galamsey phenomenon. The result, of course, was that the mining districts, especially in the western region, all of them, including almost, nearly, even Takwa, was lost to the MPP. That is what I meant when I said I'm putting my presidency on the line. That I was prepared to take the political risk involved in coming to grips with this problem. Today, he said that no, he doesn't believe in jailing, that he's against Galamsey, and he will enforce the law. So once again, we have to ask ourselves, Mr. J.M., where do you stand? What are you telling the people of Ghana? Because every time you speak from one corner of your mouth and you speak from another corner of your mouth. Let us hear from you direct, straight up, what do you stand for? We need to know. The candidate, the MPP presidential candidate, has gone on record as saying that as far as he's concerned, he is prepared to sign a pact that will take the Galamsey issue out of our politics, to depoliticize it, to commit him and our party, all of us, agreeing that we would deal with this Galamsey phenomenon on a non-partisan basis.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
I'm also telling them the NPP would not sacrifice this election on the altar of peace.
EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben.
If the sale of SNIT properties was going to affect our pension, then what happens when you start having children who have the eyes at the side of their head? When you start having turbidity, and again, note the time that turbidity is at 14,000. And don't be deceived. The WHO asks for water to be treated to be between 1 and 5 NTUs. In the Secretariat, the design is 500 NTUs. Ghana Water pushes it to 500 NTUs, 2,000 NTUs, 500, 2,000 NTUs. Now it's 14,000 NTUs. And you see what God has done? There's a drought now as well. If we don't act as water. So I think the president ought to hear it. That now we are resolute in our ask. So as we've said, we are working in tandem. The media, we're going to be working in tandem with the labor unions. So definitely there are going to be some demonstrations that are going to happen. There's a strike that is going to happen. What we as media were going to do when the strike starts, we're going to black out everything the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, everything environment that they do concerning this. So we pray that the president would act now. The president should act now. He has the power to go into the Constitution in Article 31 and declare a state of emergency. It is not enough for the Speaker of Parliament to come to Parliament and lament like you and I. If he knows those who are involved in it, because that's one of the things we as media, my charge to also you, we need to start carrying out our investigative reportage and start naming them. Start naming them, putting names out there. It's not only name and shame. We're also looking for lawyers. We're looking for lawyers and we'll start taking action. ICC is a place to go. There's a conversation about ecocide. But even if ecocide has not crystallized yet, we can go under poisoning humanity. So yes, we are exploring all those possibilities. We've been talking from 2017 up to today. We've stopped talking. We will now put pressure. And in this stage, as media, we are not going to report what other people say. We've taken a position. Our position is for Ghana. The Constitution puts sovereignty in our hands. It's not in the hands of just a few elected people. Where was the NDC when the LI 2462 was passed? Where were they? So they themselves, they are culpable in it.
EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben.
When government tells them that, they're taking steps to revoke the LI 2462, which the NDC and MPP both sat in Parliament and saw passed, and they say they've suspended it. But organized labor forgets one thing. This current government, after the LI has been passed, the Minerals Commission has permitted several entities. So there are several permits there that are there. So that's why in the media coalition's demands, we ask for the revocation of all of these permits. So currently our ask is that the president, with an EI, an executive instrument, should revoke all of the permits that have been given under this obnoxious law. And then also we know for a fact that the EPA has not signed a lot of these permits. To tell the EPA that once the president says suspend, then you don't have the power, the mandate to sign any document. And we know the permits that have not been signed. If we get any permit signed after the president has said they should suspend, we are going to go to court. So there are things, the elements of the things that are in there that we don't see in the response. For example, the issues around the evacuation of mining equipment and the street enforcement of all of it. How is it that there was a welding shop close to the Union Police Station that were producing chamfans. And if you go and look into the law, producing those prescribed equipment, transporting those equipment are illegal. So you need to change your tactics. It is said, and I'm not going to repeat it, but the person who does the same thing and get the same result, they describe them as something else. We cannot be described as that. So we need to change tactics. That is why we were asking for a state, and we're still asking for a state of emergency on the water bodies, on the sides of the water bodies, and in the forest reserve.
EpaHoaDaben.
Now, I was just going back in my mind to Nkomami DA a short while ago and sana me bawo. Now, the chairman of the Small Scale Miners Association Task Force Omatia, Omone 100 soldiers nam ekasae. And I try to follow up as to Seni Ntokwane Eko. His description of Seni Ntokwane Kone say, Womani a soldier for nam, they've been to the eastern region, and you name Usino, Brimushu so. Omo koho eko she a number of champagne machines. A hono omo effective for arrest. Oma ko ankobra no so akọ pra no so. All together oma chini pan 9 e de aka ho. O say illegal miners na we nsuo no so no. Omo strategy a oma adopt ni say now they are able to sink the champagne under the water. Emra omo ti say tax force ne ba no omo ti me sink ade no ko hye nsuo na se. Na enwumre mu boko no na omo san de aba nsuo na ni na omo atoa so etu. To the extent that ono na me ne kasa e no kra no galamsey fo ni bia bonu to pen. Amen na wa recover wasa kontokwa no. Osan so say galamsey fo no a nature informants ahodo within the communities a omu hunu so mo ka na ba pane ya ma indication na omu nyina ayera. So I asked the question, say, is this not why we need a sustained approach in the form of a state of emergency, Anna? But
you see, and Kaseɛbɔ. So we starting no. And I mean, so far as I'm concerned, this additional operation halt, it is not to fight galamsey. It is to rather it's just to attempt to say that we are doing something. But it's really not supposed to be doing that. Because now it is not an additional 100 men that you use. It is you sustain time when you ensure say you have adequate number of troops. You need to have the Navy. You need to have the Air Force who are flying over each other. Some of the informants. How would the informants be able to act when you have chocolates and things flying over the water? But you then need to have the army with a 48 engineers regiment. If it's the Navy form, if they are in the water, so almost sinking champagnes right now, Navy form would be able to see it.
yeah.
And once they see it, so because they also have the 48 engineer regiment, only tracks, a kita boom tracks, you will be able to recover all of those champagnes out of the way.
The river.
Now, if they can have in the river, but if they can have informants, how can we say as Ghana, the intelligence sources, we don't have intelligence in the community. You start to say, that I'm saying, one of the Operation Vanguard, one of the asks that the army, the military wanted was the fact that normally night vision goggles, so that they would, when they at night, with the night vision goggles and all of that, they will be able to go into this operation in the evening, and then in the process be able to arrest people in the evening. So you look at all of this, and you know the capacity of Ghana's armed forces, and you know that the resources we have as a country. It tells you that the fight that we are embarking on, it is not, we are not committed to it. Because if we are really committed to it, we will not be doing the things that we're doing. We will not be burning the champagnes. What they do is that they burn the superstructure. But the substructure now is more than so you are personally right. The issue of the state of emergency, that is required. To the extent of being himself, the fear that person is so ensuring any quiet it is a sort of and then we have the friend is saying the national security and the intelligence community. They also in the community. So they should be able to tell us the people in the houses so that you will then be able to go into the houses. Based on the evidence again, you'll be able to prosecute them. This way in which this fight is going, we need to really interrogate and be able to tell the leaders in the face what it is that they are doing. They are really not fighting this thing.
I am wondering how we can bring back the passion and the force, especially with organized labor pouring water over the same fire, and whether Yebetimia Korte the support of the generality of the Ghanaian public to be behind this fighter. Because Enyema Mudigu Akwemu Anamu demanded from Abain from a state of emergency. It was shut down with this approach. Elina Yen Revokino, the Attorney General hasn't taken any steps to lay any documents before Parliament.
No, okay, well, but I know that the Attorney General has written to Parliament. But I know, but if you say late, yeah, I can agree with you, sir. Maybe it's not late, But again, if our parliamentarians, that is both the MPC and the MPP, the leadership of them, if they were really committed, and they realize that as a country, what is confronting us is not who is majority or who is minority, but it's our very lives that are at stake. They will not be doing the thing they're doing. They would have been considering the fact that once the Attorney General has said he's written this, they will be the people who will go out and go and be looking for that document to say, where is this document? And what can we do, either as NDC or MPP, to be able to deal with the issue? But because they are not committed to it, and because for them, all that matters is the next election, they have really not shown that seriousness as far as this particular fight is concerned. So and to answer the question of how do we rekindle it, it is important. And what we have started doing today, it's a positive step into that one. We need to bring forward the fight again. We need to ring traffic. So as a kind of coalition against Galamsey, we are thinking against what should our next strategy be? What should the things that we need to do? Because we need to galvanize the people. We need to go back into our constitution and look into the preamble that says that sovereignty comes from us. And galvanize the rest of society and let us focus on what the challenges are.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben.
EpaHoaDaben.
Say it again.
EpaHoaDaben. Now together, EpaHoaDaben.
Awesome.
EpaHoaDaben.
It is said here, a group and we are sure what we want to happy. EpaHoaDaben. Who could say baby, who can say baby?
EpaHoaDaben.
Maybe I think I also share in the same comment. I think in fact your experience and then your relevance in the media space and objectivity there. Some of us say professional. Ethics of the profession is the most important thing. And almost all the ethics of all the profession, in fact, because you're professional, BB, you see 1 or 2, 3 ethics, you see say running a cut across, ABA objectivity. ABA, you must be very professional.
Exactly.
ABA, your integrity. Lawyers are the same things are there.
A doctor for
another thing, confidentiality. All these things, yes,
and somewhere
competence and due care, baby. Competence and due care. And the Kasani baby brave or crana. And no, not due care, no. Yenyashi Waniaka. I think said the phone, the lawyer Kayan in Nano. any na any kwan so I think say no so na shape some of us because say we train us say yehwemo na say say yetimi nya akwanya yebetimi aye sene mo so mo ye ne na
a chance ampo
and it works bibi me kwabontin sometimes they
feedback
I tell you and I'm amazed
EpaHoaDaben
Now I need to make a confession be ene. Also TV no and that time na e wa ba mu. Edika ma minchia wo enchia union so mo ha ni atifo nyina wi. Nti anopa bia meba ETV BB shows so. Yes.
Yeah.
And you're hot. Now, what bands? That's how we are research because when prepare, we have embarrassment. So anytime maybe a babiano, I have to prepare for. But at that time, I'm into us, and partly because we are in government, so you were holding our feet to the fire. But now we are Juma exactly. No, actually, and I will copy or Tinka or so you continue your work and me monitor and particularly that show of yours you use plastic you must find a way to bring back that program because it was a program I was always following and you continued your work and see how we are with Jumana you want the best for Ghana and you continued we said and I mean we are now here so you are focused. I need to commend you for it.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe
Sadia, a drew a real show with the wind to have EpaHoaDaben, who could see baby Kabia, Okasan Cobedia.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe EpaHoaDaben EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe
So India twasu konto krani nye papesa mikuminya Edi ebremu dema maya sase hodo atuse Sebeye yo Serinye yo Na ose Hey amaino Hey Ghana Hey yes
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe
Baby, when you say first na ye binumu ye shut down politics. You see politics for no money or money and your money. But namumu ebinumu so nti enyina ni agi say ebebo ama oman na akoso na ebo 1 o'clock pe na wa lawyer ama oman na lawyer for enyina pon akofia koda nyamishra
Bio wusu ye juma Yankwe wusu ye bio Oh my ibetum pona Ifri Osompa ne enemia Omeyi betum pong na ye mai na hozo Every 98.9 FM EpaHoaDaben jumedie ni emu aha o emu akwaba ene ye ebenada eja kwabena ne papa kwabena ma abena ni ajoy so ya bena oh okay it's na gentle sa no it's na gentle sa no who a calm oh joy say calm abena fo ya no mu ye boko mene abena netie what ya say enti minim ni America bidin the Bismark Brown no betimi afre me bibi and then so mama na wase say wa mama kwan na maba wa kwan mu but as the PSC come obo de nyankropon ba say ado your boy wo boy me nya wonyam funso enu nti me ni wo mienu funso bia ni ye ho ewe na adom nti o na ho ye de gina na so sa brechi no Enesto usubempo se aboa papo bra ba bia obi amichia o emu akwaba emu aha EpaHoaDaben jumedie ni awia bia ye hia se ya na ye de oman no nkomo ahyehye so awia nso ebedi bio nkomo wo krom bra Facebook live na yenwenwen Ghana homom ni nkomo and you know how I enjoy interacting with you. Emrepemu maybe phone lines no so amount. Now what joining me away. Show produced by Joel Sanko. And we have Jemima Adato, our tiny chidin ding. Abena Joyce and so Ekremu our Facebook so our shami streaming live. Eja me so na meti console ye chia ye de adwuma ni nyina asu manimu. Ebe biebie mu. Me ba be wa nsem nani. Ne wadwen koso metwe adwen siso. Interviews ahodo nso won komonim. Ebebusa all the nagging questions. We'll seek explanation. But ebedu brimisu ebe kan adwen pa. Sinupi. Na waje so se no kra ne ye ba akopɛ. Nyatefe de kakwe. Gaskia guda kadeni. Emre ne beso na ya de nsem bia to oman nanim. Eya kame ho ne nyina yenwene humom. Ba sa time ni du a, mesra wa da so be you NDC lens na to baby. Na o NPP de no so no yi ato nkyɛn ma me. Na oni mimienu ya hye Ghana lens no. Ye hwe nsem no kane as Ghana for. And san ye party feelings abem. Esane se oman ye ma me no mienu nyina. Ye be si no koso. O speak truth to power. Na ya kyerɛ ya adwene ɛwɔ anidie kwan so. Na also betimi a kyerɛ wadwene o. O betimi dia fa WhatsApp so man can kind dia ma 0594051145. This is subiem 0594051145. You can comment on Facebook as well. We're streaming. Enti ukoye social media handles everywhere ya. Ubehuni me ho. You want to like our stream? Petim so tim. Uwie nso anu a share to pete. EpaHoaDaben kwankwa nu anase ne ehie na ewie. Ne dwombo kode ye to ade ana. Economy ni muti saying, oh, share with me, how is it going? Wakodi dwa na nsen na emo bag na ko saying anwano ne bo no improve ana. Because so we say near inflation ne kwa na say inflation esote. Consistently we've seen a decline in the inflation. Eba form. Na just say the rate at which I totu niema mu no. They say a slow down. And yes niema ye ntutu mu. Nemo mo no eswate se bia bosumi mienu bia na se na wotwe mienu bia tu niema mu a. Per the figures we are seeing. Na just say esote a slow down. Babi busa una wodwom una okodi dwa. Wo economy ni mu. Who is saying I reflect na. You want to share that with me? Fabra Facebook Live na ebe chroto ho. Memo akwaba na mama wa ha na fe metimi aso akenkan o messages ne dia ma o. Ewe nkomo ho. Ni aba beto dwane se yesi enne se obi esi ejinaye bi so opese wode ne ho kosi ho na opre beye mampani wo Ghana ha so obi pese oye or running for the office of president ewo the Republic of Ghana, and they did the research on my and say it will cost at least $200 million. And sana wetimi awagi a campaign, successful campaign, and they are contested Ababeye president of the Republic of Ghana. $200 million. And a CDD eka. Na Africa we beto dwa bi kra ka se $200 million no kra de be ti bi kra twam because we eniema politicians e pem ampani adi o musika komu a and sika no so nya bi a one period na ko so bi so per president adi a the expenditure no ana ni sika investment e komu no e sha ase the very time we decided so person running and sa $200 million here CDD dia ba say and no normal sese hunu say the cost of running for the office of president. E sounds so de democracy ya ye womui multi-party democracy kabi mamin kan bi die ya MPP ni NDC faji abosu. Sa democracy we e de question marks akese etoso. Say ye de kohinie ewe se ne Ghana enema bo kosoro ne ade a enema bo den ne se ne yem politics yuko ya se enne 2025 ene be cost you be $200 million to run for president. In the next 5 years sa $200 million no ebe bro sa question is say yen democracy ne beti sika ye de ahye no na akwese abeye ne de. And then general elections in Kofo a demand this cancer no makoto aba. By election, of course, you heard the reports. People were demanding money. But apart from Kofo Buses Kano, the politicians are also giving money. Ebi kwa di puan. We are the future of our democracy. But isn't the question really? And maybe issue no kra no very simple. And yen na yeka. Is it not the case that democracy is expensive? And I said democracy expensive. I said $200 million to run for the office of president today. And they say but ye bedi hu komoni ahwe. Insunsanswa monocracy. Ede ba be democracy. You want to join us this afternoon? And komonu edapono so brani ni komo And already we do any MPP more. The talk of money. Ewo hodeda. Omo mo chire sika, omo de share party ni mu. And imagine, I mean, for somebody your person be president, nunti or share investing in the party. Enne enniema aye clear man no enniema ni atia man wo de ne nansim wo no. Or chire what or de share party ni mu all this while. Maybe $200 million. Be from. Well, another issue edapono so ene awie a edi hu nkomo ene se galamsey nkomo no ene yesan ehunya mu biem se na enye nrade a se enye nenso na the Catholic Bishops Conference asan kasa mo be kaya mampani John Dramani Mahama ba office anche eno mo kwosra no no mo koye no mo de galamsey asem kotu nanim se ne oka no emra no otu franka na osre Ghana for me no onhwe no onye ne saa na at the time omuka se galamsey no agensem ene after mampanishia Ghana nsem twerofo ane answers wo de maye efa galamsey ntokwan ho anso Ghana for nyina ani no omo asan babiem me kire Roman Catholic bishops womun kabomu ko no omo asan ka womu hu biemu abomu e the statement about bontene e ka kire mampanin John Dramani Mahama say on declare a state of emergency ewo mining endemic or galamsey endemic communities ewo Ghana with the president badge and answer senior na no kan ya o kan ni say no kan ya no.
I've been reluctant to implement a state of emergency in the Galamsey fight because
say also are reluctant to say obe declare state of emergency no obekọ so agina ho ana and say he will bow to the pressure from the clergy and bow to the pressure from civil society organizations. We mashada pa bobo some of the interviews are me October, November, December. Yede kwa koto aba efa galamsey ho. Makakai o position na civil society organizations ni bi kura mu dendende. Ene they are back and reiterating the call, said President John Dramani Mahama, and declare a state of emergency. But the man penny said state of emergency the last resort. Na ye were options bebre. Ye exhausted ye krampon ye. Also mine wo to me ahodo a ye beti media sigal am say no fine. Or me quite declare state of emergency. But ene conform do ma no to galamsey nkomo mu no e kwa animu. So ye civil society organizations ni free mu now ye asofo free mu a the acting chief justice has equally waded in ama ordenano to galamsey nkomo nim o say aye worse o say galamsey no agensem. Is anybody hearing ewe ye bon nkomo ni abusa from the Ghanaian perspective ye betimi e de ye ho ato aben yi so say said omo share boss galamsey omo ba omo betu ase ye betimi e de ye ho ato aben yi so say galamsey obetimi etu ase ana edapono so every day we'll find a way of discussing galamsey. Nene
Happy FM 98.9.
I will share with you video bi a me kopie so e wo social media enye ne ye me kopie so na say na e koso e wo galamsey ntokwani mu a wo de ma mente ho Joyce. I think you have the video nkwada na e galamsey no because you see I don't know say as on mine ye nya hunu say galamsey na ye ka ho asem no ehu a bra Facebook wo hu ne be hwade bi. I intended to show or share this video later, but I come mame no share sisi a ne bra Facebook ne be hwe ade a meka ho asem enkoda be ye enan ɛna wɔn gyina mena mu a ebi wɔhye na ebi nso tuo.
Happy FM 98.9.
Na kyese enkoda baako 1 2 3 4 ɛna ejina afro mu, in fact wohwɛ a ekoko afuom ɛna nkoda ɛnan ejina mu. Jama nkoda hwa omedi be sen bia we 8 years 8 9 10 ana meboa ekurase nkoda de ya no ebi adwan o bako e omu kura de bia obedi be 5 years yeah by crashing koda de wa kwa we hwese ni otu fom yi omro sa wanyini anyway but omu yenkoda wenum yenkoda e was by now almost school and over Facebook be video na me ne wo share na galamsey adwuma na nkoda yi menim so omu papa fuom o se den yo anase ye training wo mo ye kire ase ye kire wo mo said ye galamsey no because amana akwada ni gina mu no e akwada size amana and ohwa ono an watu amana na adu sam pempenso yi and ohwa ade no ode omode wash gold na atache na e makeshift enti ase ye kire wo mo ye train ya bobribi wo ho no mo ye de kire wo mo said ye adwuma no and this is scary. This is scary. When you introduce you to galamsey ni straight, enti school pass and any beji school who dear. School pass and kwada we any beji school who omon kobi because at this age, ye chere wo mu said ye wash, ye chere wo mu said ye tu, and ye chere wo mu said ye de omo apampan no. Omo ayi term bi omo de man apampan no omo said ye omo rolly na omuroli ni ana anote ni free mu ate so menya gold no ase kra ba ko so wo ho no so all practice wo ho e na okoko fom enti ene sanano na galamsey nsem no ha dwene a besrem Ghana fo antwe adwensi so ene no eda so eye issue a e wo se ekoso di hu nkomo enti ene wie ye di eye galamsey no hu nkomo busa we still asking say political will no we he. Is the verb still there? Ahoden ne passion no eda so wo ho. Neni wa ye be hwehan ne atena ho ana. Are we going to hear organized labor come out again to say one more threaten a strike action na? Because in the last administration ekade nanka government machinery was shut down kete. President Ishia wo mu wie na omadwene sesae. But we are still in the same situation. Emma say asem no age nsem ama asɛ kra. Nkwada na ene ye kire om sɛ de ye galamsey. Ewie ye monkomo. Ye ni nkomo e wo sansem yi ho. Edapono so a ye dwenwene ho, obetimi so de wadwen kiraba na yakenka ni nyina da e de amao. Imani Africa I survey be quite recently na almost survey na omo ye no almost say nanka mampani John Mahama na memwe ankana or enjoy goodwill power from the beginning, but within the last 6 months issues be to say arguments about private jet, presidential jet. Any enkwofo a ye chichichichiwo mu a ebidi ato so se selective justice. Any wo mu a aban yi ba ye obeyi wo mu adi efri adwuma mu. Imani Africa so mu hwehwe mu kira sa niema miensen ama over the last 6 months John Dramani Mahama goodwill a na o enjoy efri Ghana for ho no. Eso ahwan kakra. Awe will interrogate variables ni issues no identify private jet row, selective justice claims, and a mass dismissals. Now, almost a son, your mammy and saying, and a much say, undermine the goodwill, the reset agenda, from the people of Ghana. Only Imani Yagini said, within the last 6 months, sa issues we, ebia, a whenyai, Ghana for opepa, omu dema bino, ame swate, ana. And also say, a bino goodwill, eda so intact. With focus on these issues. But therefore said there are other issues and so for you are affecting goodwill. And answer wa from a bidima by now. You want to share that with me? Engaging in Nambum, Yenin Komo, Yamon Komo, EpaHoaDaben Jumedie any enche, Edia Futu Sembe Brel, na Eddie in Crash Samuso, Edia Babe Kahon. But so I will talk about youth unemployment. Na Yebusa, a kwanya hodwa ebetimia faso, Edia address the issues of youth unemployment. And a youth leader indeed will be joining me in the studio. Now, explore this very conversation and this very topic. But you best answer about 9 years kwasantememu. It's an say won't ya any na breach ye kese na bo santememu and I know say otumfo abebio otekoko so asantemewura ne hima atwa kase dotiye kase koso e wa santememu. And now you die tosumienu, and we have our man on the ground, Reynald Ajiman. Or they and commoning na ebe free men share him diaba said the chromutie traditional directives say free men share by amount for compliance and the whole general mood of Asantemai as a yikasi ekoso. Utumfo yi ena 9 de si honomo to mourn the Asante Hema. We'll get there. Na yedi eho enso enkomo. Mama men kan fo ma say wo fa niema afia bruchire e de abagana ache. Na woni logistics companies ahodo adile. Of course, you have had very bad experiences. And me no ka say bi ana wadum pempen so a ubusa ho say na hwana biem na betima trust no say onfa wo niema mfia ma no ne mra Ghana emfa ma wo. Think no further and men who bebre. Me wan sanema. Golden Stone Logistics Company Limited, Abama, on only your most reliable shipping partner. And near me biada. Wo fa firama no ne dia ba Ghana. Say udi free Asia neba, udi free America, and now the free Europe. Bebia udi free bebia. Say Africa continent akwa na di free di eba Ghana. Omo se bra na womo ne wonkasa. Isane se omunim akwan ni nyinada na omote adwuma no so ase sea cargo a omo full container load and groupage omo san so air cargo which is normally express omo san so super fast customs clearance and omo ewo best priced full container declaration services and so omo ede ema edinti na mekan for Golden Stone Logistics ede ma wo for the past 15 years. Ejuma we my ya no mistake satisfaction kwa and your clients see do mo dance ye ni see I do won yema beba pa na ho atochima ana be complaining ana say time ye ka see be yi niema na ma etwamu ensi with Golden Stone Logistics Company bronya beba won yema ne beba so wo pese wo yi niema ne ntemu a the best people are Golden Stone Logistics Company Limited. Almost some free professional consultancy at the businesses. Almost say, almost believe say they want to grow with you. Into almost foot to almost the bemau and my wood me a year. Where you many year, almost so you made years and say only omobekoso edi kasubomu. Almost flexible pricing policies and yet chenchene bare. You bedin komona. Yahwe said the betimi aboa ye ho say be ya wo so be hu beto na business enso so akoso enti me price bia mbo bi akoba bi invoice dia ma wo no ti nyina pai wo come and talk to us you're flexible with our pricing policy with Golden Stone Logistics. Your cargo is not just moved though, it's also handled with expertise, care and trust. I tell you not wo be fe no afre wo mo na oni o makasa because enra asema metiye eye me de Kaseɛbɔ ako ene se since I fi asese ka ho asem wo mo call rates na kosoro pa na che se amanfo so ahwe wonso so hwe fa number si na frɛ 0502 609 222. Besi subiem 0502 609 222. And also Odebefa 0208 126 777. 0208 126 777. Golden Stone Logistics Company Limited. One was someone said they are delivering growth and securing trust.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
We are there no ready for lunch. Obi dey your soakings. We peg gari bi. Eya Ghana for ye do level bi ane ye bu gari animti. Eya me dwene ho amenti ase o. Ade agye won kwa wo secondary school days. Ade agye won kwa wo kurase. Emra na wo hustle ene akoyi amanti what to gari ajeje mu. Ebi ana send ye present gari ntia. But then ya fa ekwan foforo so a ebema wani aka ho na aye easy, simple, convenient. Edi ama wo na wasan so enya the original soaking taste and ya package di abrewo. Eye H&H Gary mix. Ya won 4-in-1 bribia wo mu bi and ya wo H&H Gary Choco Energy. And also any ya sheda a blended with eye cocoa yi na se beba wo ahoden no nya pomuden. Eno achi ehunu se nkofo bebre wo ho a milk no nya milk bia na eye omope. Obi ono mo a wonpe dairy milk se bia and ye free eye nantwie mu ana se odwan mu ba ompe animal based milk. Obi ono mo ane de plant nti adwene ho ne se ene ye mfa soya enso so emfra gari ni mawe na wo a wo penesa no unso unya ne sa. Ni nyina wodwom ne boefo ebu je se me nka na menya den nkofo nti hu jai nkwada ne bebie school fa de bia kura de da wona ewie BC ebekọ SSE so SHS o school SHS foi omo so ba bekọ obepe H&H Gary mix ni bi na de gu omo cho box mu se be ya ebe gi omo akagina mu ebi ana wo kọ hiking ana wo kọ trip bi you no have it be nya in strips o we no hwegu cap mu de ayi atri nu mu a ona wo kọ ba bi no convenient, simple, nice, and it's affordable. H&H Gary, the survival pack.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Ewie mamemfa mefutu sem embra wakwan mu na yentwe adwene ensi eniema bi so. To da bi a na yewrefi na orefi nso a eyenkaye na wohia enya atiatia. To da bi nso a na ya adwene nko ho kra. Eno saa no yeyi wasutire etia ona so ya twe wadwene akoso. No na wo beti ase a wo se sa na biribi koso ana manhu ni saa ebi ana saa nete eno nti na situation no ye ete saa wo busa se na de na brantie kan epacho for some time matena se ehunu se ya fa suban bi a sa suban no ese ye montene na edi yankasa yenya the plastic culture the single use plastic culture rubber yesode a ye use ne da bia ye wie ya na ato ague eho asem na mekan na bia na wadwene maaso ebi ana uwura fi ebi ana wan kasa no wonwene ho kwa akire bada wiei mesre wada fa waso ene wadwene fem me kakra ne tie asem kakra ya me ne wo ba beche single use plastic a kind of plastic bi a me no mienu nyina yenim deda yenim esane se ye yusubi
98.9
every day yenim esane se eno an ye di akoniaba da biara da eno bi ena ye de enum nsuo me ka pure water sa single use plastic ya no eno bia enso ena ya ye de ebo banku ema amanfo ene single use plastic ya nso dokuna wa haban mu deda no ya sanso kra de rubber ya sanso de dokuna wa haban mu deda ene ya sanso de hye rubber mu single use plastic ya nso ebi ne sa rubber tuntum na ya outai fe no take away rubber no single use plastic ebi ni wo bottled water wo to ya wo num wieye na wo to twene ye ebi ni disposable cup single use plastic minu mienu ya we se etwa ye hu nyina ahia
Happy FM
na ye use no dia eya na ye convenient mayen ema ye ho henhan yen ema yenkura efinche because o rubber dia unkura bola eno ane se wamoa no ato atwene saa na akoye ensu ene yen ban. But have you thought for a minute? Say in a week, single use plastic aya u generate no ekwa hefa. Over Facebook Live, I'm sharing with you a video and it's on the screen. Over Facebook, we a fishing net, and Debbie, I will confront you with this video. Where a fishing net fishermen wo Jamestown akwa to wo mo asewu aba wo mu eye he roba nko egum we ene ete ho me no mienu ena rabai ye generate na no ameka che say
BFM 98.9
the United Nations said by the year 2050 there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. Enya agro ena yedie. Say if the United Nations project sadie way, na here in Ghana already, we na ye hunu yen beaches then you should know say ye wo hodeda ansa na sa 2050 ne mre na so. Edie na ye as a nation to manage single-use plastic. Me no mi onu betimi a share attitude na change bi ase. Esane say beyond epunimu na rubber ni nyina koguo no. Rubber no so eku ayemmoa. Hwade bi bra Facebook na me fa de bi nchiro Joyce fa picture ne to ho. Rubber ya da bia me ka ho asem kire wo no eku mponchi ana eku anantwie.
BFM 98.9
A veterinary doctor be reach out to be because asem wa me ka no wate na wahunu bibi opese Ghana man nyina so hunu bie. Ose bibi asem wa da bia wo ka no eye no kure o. Ye pai aponchi bi yam aponchi ni wura ese aponchi no twitwahwe na onim yade ko ya aponchi no na ne mponchi ni nso dɔɔso enti ni otwitwahwe no de naba veterinary fo no ho se wo mo hwe bia na yade esai na nka waso ano na nkwankwaka mo ani nyina omo fie aboa no efiye no na ne yemu ayekutu patchobra Facebook be ha de omo ye aponchi surgery. Shadi omo hunu aponchi ne yem. Bra Facebook and the picture is here. Jima ma dey na hui. O black take away polythene bag no.
98.9
O take away polythene bag na ebia udidi wo mu no. Unse aduane pampan no. Menka wo. Aduane pampan no. Aduane pampai unse aponche pe enchene aponche openchene pa te aduane bia enchene wo mu bia no attract no enti se what the way koto aduane bi a wache ana aduane bi ana di wo mu wie na atotwene ye ana ponche no so nam pampan ne twe no o testi enchine wo mu sa na ore ye hwe na Joyce show them aponche no ye ne surgery wie ye se de no ma pam ne ye mu no me no mienu rubber no a da bia me ka ho asem kire wo no ensi emblock gutters nko a eku ayemo anso
Happy FM.
Enye environment no nko na ese no eku ayemo epra ayemo. And there is a video em say no crowd by now they only say popular been showing this video na no sala ye nuanom nkramofo eku nantwie ba kwa wo mu ku no se mu hunu ne yem no ne stomach no mu yiye no enema na ewo mu single use plastic nkwa na mebusa se azoman I wish sure say betimi sustain sa culture way yeah sure say ye betimi survive with sa attitude way a ye di bibia ye plastic and nipa koto aduane o den sapan ne okọ ne ati bibia de gu rubber mu di ama no akoda akọ school a koko a ya to ama no e wo rubber mu shishi na wonum banku shishi esija so ne ati de gu ade a ye de petrochemicals and aye. And the doctors have been speaking. The literature abounds. Near single-use plastic, it has cancer-causing chemicals. And so, yana nanamu hunu ye ni dokuno ya bo dokuno a ye de gua habemu ni abo dokuno no wo ebura habemu. Ene yesi ye ni ebia broso ma dokuru na ewu abura ha ba mu ne san so de hye roba mu emra na ehye na ye kwahe ye dien de ne ye hu ana wo kodwo mu amesre wada fa a reusable bag ekodwo de bia no ana de be kodwo mu okwa enkoje roba
Happy FM.
ade a ye de paper chechire hu eyeye no insist si enfa paper mawo ade a wo hia rubber wo ho no menje enema bebre wo ho no mo aye ayeto aye hia rubber o drive na o pese wo to a tin of milk ka mu na wotio enso a tin of milk no wo to ye no wagi take away wo se fa hye rubber mu mame wo de atoka anim wo de rubber ne be ye den ye kokoto aduane without chancing ni age rubber ye ba ni efa ya free ni eba be hunu nyansan hwe aduane na gu chancing mu and within a split of a second aduane kakra na aba be di no we generate plastic garbage be 5 okoto dokunu mienu enchi namba ako agi meko e de rubber mako be 6 ebe fie momi ehwe bribi ye
Happy FM.
na enye sustainable yentimi enkoso sei na ye expect say ye man ne be kodanim. Let's all say no to single use plastic. If you're a gentleman, get a bowl in your office. Say call lunch na aduane no person koto de ba office nko ade go along with your bowl. Lady, what dresses shepe kama na no asemi ya two lady bi wo adabraka traffic light na se anopa o wa hye ne me ma me beka ne moku ne nantu pa gina ne naso wa cross every the office ayi GRA for office na wo adabraka police station side on wa cross every ho aba beto koko nice lady dress kama na me asasa no see me say rade me dawase watokoko na wie otwa kwan ni mu
Happy FM.
Ena rubber bag black asia tie na kokoi ne na so a splash gu ne na ho nyina. I'm say yes. Umoko fefe do ho nyina basa, a beautiful lady, ufi office ne kwakotokoko. Couldn't you have gone with a flask? Roba no edie na benya wom. Mesre awofo a moto aduane hyehyehe e wo kwan ho de ma mo ma o roba mu. Na moka aduane ne fra wo roba ni mu. Na akwada no car no na ofe emo ni stew. Wo osake emo ni stew. I mean how? Roba untimi nka no ma no na nye smooth da. O ka no wi a enketua bi tietia no ho no mo. Wudi aduane ni nyina na etete kɔ wanu mu. O mene kɔ onipadua ni mu. Eda bi bedu me haya meya yesi bibi cancer na ede kabrel. Moma yensua na yentwe ye ho. Emfree sa suban ni mu. Say no to single use plastic. Opa. Nyobaye nie. Over 3 options. Either say you would refuse single-use plastic. Yedema wa wonye. And now say, don't be quick to throw it away. Reuse it. Okoto ade ni ma rubber bag fatu ho. Next time okoto ade fa sa rubber no kwenkoje another rubber. Reuse. Na uwo kwan bi nso a pe kwan na recycle rubber no akoto gallon oil abefie we yusu awie ukoto atwene na akopie gata mu utimi de ye flower pot utimi hwehwe biribi fufuro edi
Happy FM 98.9
enkonko dane bola yemfiase nkakra in the absence of a national policy against single-use plastic. Individually, yenye we ma ye ho na ye fan support environment na ye timo no. Me futu sem ai na wie me de brewo eno no enche na me de enkran hye sem no so brewo. But I have a conversation coming up, and sa conversation efa emabunu the youth. Na ye kan youth a ho any youth. Na no NPP for could define youth. I say Obia wedi up to 35 wapem youth. But there are people who are young at heart, who are not necessarily very young and active. But who so youth. But about a mebunu ejuma semwa. As a nation, ye politics in can say indeed we try to find solutions to the unemployment situation of our young people. We are kakra about unemployment and the youth. Na ya hweniema nuggets a yebetimi apeke e dey free sa enkomuemu. That's coming up on the show. But before then, yemfa afternoon message of motivation emrewo.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Okay. Joyce, why a cradua? Yen she hun crying, said the die yen no. And anyway, yen crying shesem aya crado. Jose Ortega Gasset, and a can someone may know about bedroom hui. Jose said, or say effort is only effort when it begins to hurt. When I first saw this word, I just smiled. Effort is only effort when it begins to hurt. And then I also what try wabre. And then I also why effort ben I also why. And effort now why no how does it feel? Empembebre eya enipa kan biribi se mabɔ me ho modin bia maye ne meye bia enso enkosi aga ewie me pese o question sa modin bɔ na eya na wo se waye no Modern bona de bia woka se maye ne meye bia maka ne meka bia anamon bia wo se bitu bia metu ene wie me pese odwene ho. I want you to question some modern bono sa effort na wo se waye no. And sa question we no obeyi ano a it requires honesty. Say obi agya wo ho na obi ani wiase na yese kɔ wo hu mu ne busa ho say ade na wo se waye ne obeye bia no ampampa effort na wo ka no obedi no kra ma ho say eye effort a wabri wo mogya ni a wo te se waye effort empempi se yakase aye ne ebeye bia na ye dada ye ho. Because our effort doesn't feel like we have actually made an effort. Imagine obi a wakɔ gym. Your man of first waiter. Oh, na say we dey simple kra na mo na we na mo se dey no we na mo se dey no. Or be 30 push-ups a ofo say waye bibi. But ɔno ankasa nim say enso no. Eda obe pushi weight ade be chi a obete se ne wedie mu ye ne ya no sada no ka se ma traini pa. In fact, you are the best judge of your own effort. Don't kid yourself and don't pamper yourself with those little efforts you make. Yes sir, you can never achieve your goal. Sedebia kakra na wo ye na ye was why bibia ma nti what give you up wo ye kakra so and I may try and I may be and a business no me de be hu shemu and so on. Say obejai pampering yourself and really push yourself and feel the pain and pinch of effort. That is the only way. Obetimi I realize idea wo de si wani so. Eya ye dada ye ho, eya ye krokro ye ho. We hide under the guise of, I have made effort. Or say, effort is only effort when it begins to hurt. You have to feel your effort. And you will be never feel your mouth. A man will be description of your effort. And my won't feel comfortable. And cause oh, nasa man for crowd who say, go for crowd by so my yebi. You are the best judge of your effort. And when you don't feel you have pushed enough, don't settle and say my yebi. Push until you feel you have pushed. And I came to push you. I came to shake you. I came to tell you to push beyond your limit. That is only when you see the true effort. What they are shading. We any futu sem, any incranche semu. Ayede ebro enewe.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
I'll take a break. When I'm back, mene opening Daniel Asumeni, oye CEO and founder Vodek Africa, ebedi nkobo, and our focus is on the youth and unemployment. Yabasisia.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits. We are not just another service. We are your partner in unlocking sustainable income and fueling business growth. With prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land documents perfection, we are redefining what is possible for property owners and business owners alike. At Eclipse, we have built a primary depository platform, a secure, innovative space where property property owners like you can lodge your documents and earn risk-free, sustainable income. For businesses struggling to secure funding, we provide collateral solutions you need to thrive and grow. Every move we make is backed by a rigorous credit appraisal process, so you know you are in safe hands. Find us at Adenta Barrier near Medi Moses Hospital, beside the West African Senior High School wall. Call 054-383-2466 today. At Eclipse Collateral Management, for property owners, we say think safety and decent income. And for business owners, we say think funding before projects.
Mewa nisuade hunu bi na nisuade hunu ayetumi frɛ no hyebre se bebe mu ama wo a kyese wankasa wo konkoden na wo hwehwɛ ɛno na wo nsa betumi aka Mose tene ne poma ɛbɔ ponimu na emu kyemienu Elijah ɛkɔ so bɔ mpaye meja firi soro ɛbaaye Yesu Kristo tene ne nsa ne nkwagye ɛba nipa so Mark ne Elon esuane ma fa abɛfo ho ɛno nti nende ye wo Meta ɛne Tesla Yera Dangote esan ne mfidi dwuma ɛne niama a wasua nti no ɛba na bibimemu heyina frango a yetu no ɔno ɛnedi nkan Osagifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ene afofre ka no ho a yɛbɔ mo samrane ɛfrɛ mo the big six no ɛbɔ modin a ɛgye fa hodie ɛde magana sankrofo mabobɔ mu din na ɛkonkoden ɛde pranisuade huna na esi omo ani so no ɛno nti ɛna mbra ba ma wo sɛ one prophet Bernard Nelson Eshon Dr. Stanley Bandawa Reverend Chris Edusei Donko Dr. Eugene Esiama Buadi Emrenimni Prophet William Johnson ɛne afofra yankopɔn asra omongo ɛbɛka bom ama dwumadi esronko ɛde hyehyɛ so a friend Builders Camp Meeting afriwe mu no onso watumi abebi na dwumadi no yɛbɛhyɛ ase September bosom ne da toso ɛyɛ dunwɔtwe ɛkɔpem September bosom ne da toso ɛyɛ edunum mekyerɛ 18th September ɛkɔpem 20th September ɛwɔ Commonwealth Hall Theatre University of Ghana dwumadi yi obi asi ne nanso ɛyɛ Ayam J Marion kai na hyɛ ne nso sɛ dwumadi wei ɛyɛ free adwomtofo ahodo ɛbɛba dwumadi na se ne Prophet City Hitmaker Minister Petra Oduvayo Minister Kofa any afoforo bi eka ho open chechemu bia obetumi afrɛ 0233 733 444 anase 0249 834 004 0249 834 004 emra so say yesesa bia yete na bi so oman kronkron Ghana so sɛ ne be ya akwanya bebre ebetumi aba edi amanchirima
Kofi let me ama kanchema no aba bedane oyire abra wutia just 1000 Ghana cedis me ya wania
uyo obi oyi nkonya
wait see me Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding 2026
sa dwumadie no a ye hoahoa wo se oye odehye niema koda ahoje bia kese na yesan ema manfo di wakire se de oye celebrity no
wetwa be fie duonini ane e dia ka odo ho asema ya ka warefo bebrabom
sesi anu me de me mpra no miensa no ba
Debi Kofi oba baako bema baako odo baako
Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding well love meet affordability our career on another level don't know
before registration forms ewo Happy FM asalam down
so person so yasene a obetimi afrɛ tetefo homan 0244 906 235 and I say 0302 254 858 mamenkai wo send she kakra wo EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pɛ.
Welcome back. EpaHoaDaben dwumadie enie. If you're just joining us, yɛmwaha yɛdawase bebre sɛ wode wafidie no ato 98.9 FM. Menokase, we are also live on all our social media handles. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on X Spaces. We're also live on Instagram. Baby a yɛwɔ hɔ, TikTok nyinaa yɛwɔ hɔ. Nti baby a bɛhyia yi bia nso, yɛnso yɛbɛhyia wo. Na o comments nso a wɔ no o de ban so a yɛbɛkenkan ne nyinaa de ama wo. Let me attend to a few of your comments ade aba emra yɛhyɛ dwumadie no ase na yɛnkɔ our first conversation for area way fantastic Wilberforce or dwumadie no live was Seshi Asawin so also Ghanaians shouldn't accept any apology from Dr. Baumia if he has indeed really regretted the unbearable hardship they put Ghanaians through for the past 8 years. He would have apologized to us when he condescended the 2024 elections defeat. And then condescended. You want to mean conceded? Because now I'm confused. Fantastic. Thanks for your thoughts. Regards to MCE for Seshiri also constituency. Okay, Honorable Dominic Jesse. Comments Pillar 2 say JDM promised us 24-hour economy, not knowing 24-hour destruction of our cocoa farms and water bodies. No action on Galamsey. Special greetings to Honorable Bright Esilfi Kumi, next NPP National Vice Chair, and Honorable Charles Otin, aka Oti, also known as next NPP Greater Accra Regional Assistant Secretary. Hope for Comensa Pillar 2. Thanks for reaching out to us. Later, a baby phone line, so in the course of the show, no so about a homano so no about Kaseɛbɔ or WhatsApp messages in swap. Obeti media for 0594051145. So the market kind in a ede amount.
EpaHoaDaben.
Daniel Asomeni, a Chief Executive Officer and founder EpaHoaDaben Africa. Wa joining me a studio ha. Emebunu ehun komo ene babidie. And what is on the table? Emebunu awomu ni adwumaye. And yebebusa solutions to sa situation way. Kamia say every political party be a kankan your opposition. One of the stakeholders our elections more omo etai promise omo pa emebunu. And for a lot of the youth, political parties are there bako and yomo promise jobs. We've seen several attempts by Abaya Hodwo to deal with the issue of youth unemployment. It started with J.
98.9
when a national security report say yampe bribia nya about youth unemployment ebia Arab Spring eni bi hunu. Quickly, the Kufuor administration put together the National Youth Employment Agency and they register mebunu bebre across the country say be mo madwuma. It ended up becoming an ad hoc measure and deliver permanent jobs. Ebeye intervention 2 years no awie. JE Mills and Subeso mua the same concept na eno fa so ena fofian toata onyameto nsa frɛ no na John Dramani Mahama beso mu no ena yehunu Jida
Happy FM.
Ehun semsem a ekopie ye. Eno nso na ye youth employment model sa se de be ma mebunu na adwuma. Ewie betie se trading nipa 5,000, a trading nipa 50,000, ye hwe nipa na ye hu omo, ye se create jobs. But emebunu no se still in many ho. Ye be we so we have created so much jobs, so many jobs. 20,000 jobs, 60,000 jobs, 3 million jobs. And so, jobs na yesi a create no. Omo ye beneficiaries no so nam krom so mu ni adwuma e. Ene na mu na do bae. Ena Jida besesa be ye wai. Ano no crowd your bae no de ba ko bi nsu be ka ho. A nation builders call. And also sa interventions just say yemfa nkofo bata ba enwuma ho ekwan ba na apio mo ahye ho. It is not as if say Abino was being creative at the creative jobs. And then
98.9
YEA is still there serving an interventionist purpose. Still a mebru no su so mo padwuma ye. Into youth unemployment. Ekwan ba na e be fa so e betimi aso ano. Will it take a political solution or it will take a business solution? My guest, Daniel Asomeni, CEO and founder, EpaHoaDaben Africa. Mr. Asomeni memwa Mr. Asomeni akwaba. Na ohun ye de. Nyame adom me ho ye. Many just say waba me studio ha pa.
Besumani ajepa.
Na yenhyase with Vodek Africa na imbusa you can Vodek Africa moye hwan no moye den na mo ahyase kra ne sen
menua medase de edi kan ya de nchia ebema ya tiefuo ene ya hwefo a mo hwe o social media nti ye chia obibia na Vodek Africa eye youth ku a 8 years ago imabunu ye kan ye ho bo mu se ye hwe ebra imabunu ebre ene se ne wonya adwuma emfa na ye hwe ye leadership gap ene deficit a ewom a yentumi produce more quality leaders than quantity leaders no ye ba together say ye pese ye boa imabunu na yetumi build omo leadership capacity ye na afi so no yetumi boa imabunu a omo pese omo start omo ankasa omo nyuma na ye boa omo technical firm ene kwan omo befa so benya capital krade ahye omo adwuma ase nti Vodek no ye wo 4 areas a ye di adwumadie efa ho de edi kan no se nem di kan ye no entrepreneurship development leadership and governance ana de etoso miensa eye economic women empowerment ana de etoso 9 eye climate change and sustainability initiative ana ye adwuma edefa ho
and it's a single use plastic in komo ikra fam ho
ai eye ade a ye di ho adwuma ya ye project kakra fa ho ewo schools bi mu ebiti se St Mary's ye boa mo ye waste segregation ye mo dustbins a ombese pretty plastic from organic waste no afi so no ye boa mo ye bibiti se biogas mo de no aduane mo canteen or mo rely on the other side of energy LPP gas
okay awesome so na mo tu ho acha na
Vodek Africa ye NGO nti atu ho acha adwuma obi anti obi aka but ye hwe oman mu a obi antumi emfa ne nsa enhye ne demre fam enka se ye hwe aban ko ama na ye bibia nti ye wonwom bia ye to se oman ebeye ya efriye nara wonsom ene nipa nti ye mabunu ye pese oman etumi fa ne ntoma pa friday ye dwene ho se ye beba together na ya boa enkofo
so far Jenny need to saying musimu ache
yesi mu mfie watching 8 years ni nti yesi mu ache acha akra
8 years experience need to saying emabunu no ya ne nkofo se Ghana mabunu ye lazy Ghana mabunu asomo mpedwuma Ghana mabunu omtirimu yo omde when youth aside you've interacted with a lot of Ghanaian youth from different backgrounds uhunu Ghanaian youth ne readiness so be ye adwuma saying Ghana youth no hu ni saying
no kura ni nyame anim ni menua Ghana youth ye omo ye nkofo a ye very innovative very creative me ne mabunu assign for mfie bebre ni de eya me nwanwa kura na say mabunu na omu ni kurom omwo rural Ghana no
nkura na se no
ye wo program bi a ye run e wo Vodek Africa ye frɛ no Vodek Africa Idea Challenge afibia no ye bi opportunity ma mabunu no send omu business proposals for technical support and funding opportunities na ohwe ideas a mabunu ne de bomb board pa bisa won say na we mu nyina Ghana ha
really
recent one ye wo Accra City Hotel a omo be peche ye majority about 70% of them were coming from rural Ghana.
You don't mean it.
And the ideas they presented were very powerful. Inti mabunu ne de meka se omo nye daft. Omo ye nkofo bia.
Emenu ni tin wuye.
Ebi mutin wuye. Dodo
wana. Meka se mri bi na MPB se. E de ne emenu ni e pare se abodwe fufufufu ne na na ai rasta. Adwene bia ni etirim.
Ya ne nya adwen ebi omo ono ni
omo. Katie Hammond.
Ya ne nya adwen ebi omo oni omo saye no. Ana na etisa. Nti yentumi generalize bibia se mabunu ni titi se kube ne.
Yeah.
Eno de ebi a wone anyansafo ni bi ansan ha nti de meka nyina ne se emabunu no bebre wo anisoade hunu e wo mani so na omu hia ho akane na menka nso enkosi se ye ni emabunu omu so enye serious me ne ebi mu so asan a utumi hu se o ma adwene ne sebi enye upushi omokura na omumpushi they are not willing to adopt change hanti ebia eno ana honorable hwe ya odi kansa hanti emaburu ne de dodoɔ na ewo anisuade hu no dodoɔ na wo anisuade hu no ewo manisu a omo pese omo ye bibi stronko nti senior mekan this year idea challenge ya ye be a nomination for just 2 months from the month of March to June, about 144 people and they apply.
Okay.
Or more apply near data nema independent people to evaluate the data and shortlist some of them. So they came out and shortlisted about 36 of them. 36 we
out of the
144.
Okay.
Yes. I should say a very viable able to me I employ in Kofua ebe solve real Ghanaian problems. Anti yes no ye organize a capacity building program ema omo e won natwo efre omo ma dia continue business mu ne omo ye good marketing finance so omo nkyerɛkyerɛ omo na omo hu na afi nso pitch deck nso no ye de omo fa professional kwan so say omo be hu de also omo ye e wo da omo be presenting. Na on the 2nd of August, you could share more Accra City de businessmen eba na minua ese wani businessmen no e kan say e omo wanwan say nkofo tumi eye innovative a omo hyehyɛ Ghana hanoma ye nya obi ama enso masene obi eye artificial sensor ye de mani fry for.
Wow.
Nti okita stake na se onante na se kopema de a stake no ebe BP.
Okay, e prompt no.
Ebe prompt no. Ama nimpa no I say okita ani e won nsam.
Okay.
Nti wo hwe
nti enye white cane keke.
Yes,
e was sensor.
E was sensor. Nti enye white cane keke e was sensor. Very powerful. Ana nipa oye enso oye Ghana ni o. Babunu. Owo be 23 years.
I see.
Ana oye. Obi nso ebaye onso eye chocolate very powerful kama oni factory kese na so hwe ne chocolate na otumi de dawadawa kura aka ho aya wonte dawadawa scent udi esama wa pomudin odi afra chocolate obi nso ebaye ono enso process agriculture product obi kura ye from biomass de omo ye no omo de preserve vegetables na saade we ohwe tete a nipa otumi ye bi Joseph ono pe ana otumi preserve aduane for 7 years
ampro
send for 7 years 14 years na obabunu bi ti kroma no waye bia de ntini ye nso na se
waye bribia etimi de preserve vegetables
including tomatoes o de pete so a ense organic.
Wow.
Enyama ode ye nso se onyani nyina.
And e Ghana problem Kaseɛbɔ akopaa o.
Ani. Nti eno kire se the government eye bia no they must open up wide and reach even the unreachable. I will say ye hwe rural areas no, na ye hwe urban areas no, but ye tu ye nikosi baby urban cities no nko a ebe hadwin.
Wo hwe Ghana mabunu a oni omesai na otena kire a areas ben na hwe mabunu no mu interest wo pa. Is it in tech? Is it in entrepreneurship? And say manufacturing? Wo for the proposals amoje mabunu amoni omudi nkomo omo aspirations omo ne mo share no Ghana mabunu no omo adwene no enam he. What kind of business no manage ho?
In fact, Mecca say there is a paradigm shift in the current trend.
It's saying be a
bam. First, nanka o catch the babunu say onkoye agribusiness onim say ye brejuma. But enne emabunu no bebre juma di omudi no is around agribusiness.
Okay.
Nti they are more interested in adding value to raw materials, agricultural raw materials.
Okay. Agro processing,
and manufacturing. And now ebimu so tech side.
Okay.
But what percentage now? Metumi aka say 55-45.
Okay.
Or more money agro processing ne manufacturing.
Okay.
About 55%. Ana or more manage tech nyama AI ni artificial intelligence IT nyama no and so be 45%.
Okay.
Hanti trend no afena youth ne so embrace technology no more. But Ghanaian youths are not lazy.
But I also see a huge chunk of Ghanaian youth are almost petonaton pa so. What observe sir? Cotton. I mean, near my minimum traditionally, Ghana for a merchants, a type of Sebeka near Barberton. And when you go on social media, you see a lot of young people engaged in tonaton. I don't know, sir, money sancrophone so saya, and if you've made that observation too.
No crese youth near Bianiji tonaton. And no. Dodo na yesa ade ni because de eye omo real aniswadi hunu no omo nni hu akade sika omo de be shaase na eni ho.
Okay.
Nti dodo na be prefer say omo be start from somewhere.
Okay.
Nti omo be ye tonaton na omo gada money na afi de omo invest ewo de
ni omo person omo ye
na nkasa mu. Nti tonaton no is just a conduit to help some of them. Of course. Ebi mo nso ekoho no na se hoye omo da omo refi omo original dream anyankopon e de amo mo se omo mfa enante wasase so.
Interesting. Obetimi aba Facebook na enkomo we wa ba bedibi. Ye hwe Ghana mabunu in relation to unemployment. Na ye opportunities are available ma mabunu. Areas ben na se ne opese wa wo hye obri bi ase a anka fa wani efa ho na ohwen so a ma membusa question in this way, so ohwen mabu na epese wo mo ye omo ankasa adwuma ene wo mo epese wo ye bosom ye adwuma office adwuma nsunsu ye edemu no so ana kabe say na ko universities ahodo ko university campus tertiary institutions ahodo a the perception and say obi a pay school na wenya ban adwuma ana wenya adwuma o bank ana in a service sector, private sector, obi a person about tie na okwa adwuma na bosom yetua ne ka between omo such aspirations any womo a omo pese o man kasa ye bibi mo ho no weight of balance ne da he
no krese enkane no nanka obi a de ne ba ko university o ka jense yero ko school na koye krache but ne me no kasa data mayati asese esesa research be so indicate say about 66% of Ghanaian youth are willing to do their own business.
66%. Wow.
Are willing to do their own business. And also na eye kwan ye betumi amaya dane our unemployment situation na ye wo mu as a man. Say ye ka se de bia ye be create opportunity ama young people. Sometimes we end up creating additional problem. Say ye pese ye employ mbabnu ewo government sector. A bit said NAPCO. NAPCO ebayen. It created additional problem because look at the salary na yeditua mbabnu. So BJ sika 700 Ghana de na be yama no.
Yes no.
Sebio enkofo a this government for omo nkoye why adwuma ne ade obi je as far as 350 400 Ghana cedis de na be ne lord fair kura entumi. So enokura ended up creating another problem for the state or the country. Inti, the situation is not about rolling up or embracing the young people in the existing work. We have to sensitize them. I was see a church almost say, you do ko universities, you are poor, uba, also be a universal person, ube create a jumani behind ama afufura ba benyabi, and yes, say, obey cratchy, not waka kotana office. ana AC mu sika de e wo street so sika nkasa any office no sika any office sika wo street so nti mabunu ntesie no they are picking these ideas based on nkyerɛkyerɛ a yegusu a ye ne omo eye ohwe ye program ya ye beye ya National Emerging Leaders Economic Forum a ye ba beye wo UPSA and the mabunu be 5,000 and e ba be hiem na me ya adoma September 22nd Monday be ya eno no dodo na e ba na be entrepreneurs omo ba be hia businessmen akuku dama omo be ma omo mentorship opportunity no mo hu se ade na omo ye nana no mo no mo tu no obi gina omo achi a ono so kyerɛkyerɛ omo se fa ha na wan fa ha obeti ato nti nyama bi se na mabunu ni hia na omo tumi atrive ewo entrepreneurship na omo pese omo eye no nti mabunu they are really catching it. So government should actually channel his energy in looking at how to get young people who are having business ideas and support rather than embracing them in their sector.
The role of government over the years and sustainable. About interventions are why in trying to get the youth employed. Send a number kind my intro no. And Timmy ente unemployment and so. Ususu say government that's so relevant in solving the unemployment situation.
Yeah, no Woman said you cannot take government out when it comes to solving the issue of unemployment. However, the private sectors and the CSOs can also not sit there aloof. We must all bring our energies together. Or see ye babum na ye bebuani solve the issue no. But government a bigger responsibility or a role to play. And I say, Oshe Ghanaian market now in the economy, the one with the highest purchasing power, government. What can the government do to make sure that Obe create enabling environment and market opportunity for young entrepreneurs? So there should be a policy, an internal home policy that will say that okay, any service that the government is going to procure, and I say product via government betobiano, ye debema Ghana ni. Yeah, the contract in Bema Ghana ni. So yes, ye build yankasa ye businessmen and ye businesswomen. Now another policy should also say maybe 35% of government contracts are going to young people who have started something anew. And no be kushi young people amomenya grounding. And sana omunya noa they will begin to think about overseas international yen take advantage of after free African continental free trade area. Na omo djeneko, but until then no young creative environment ne market opportunities na my young people now start a business in bench no mambo mobu inti say youth no they are not willing, they are willing but they don't have all the necessary tools, the right network, the right resources that will help them thrive in their business trajectory.
Interesting. Wait me join in with your thoughts or comments, new views. Ewasa and Komoe and Hoba Facebook Live. Ubeti de sa unkomana beto or questions, no contributions and so fabra. Na yenina yenhehe answers to the unemployment situation. Na so the Ghana Youth Barometer reporter for 2024 indicates say yehwe emebu na wo mu ni adwuma ya dodo na ye wo mu a wo mu awie SHS unemployed youth no dodo na wono mu a o mawie SHS.
Happy FM 98.9.
E dey na kafa education no
no krese data na mayati asese omo wie SHS no dodo na ewie na so manto aso they become unemployed. But oko develop world a bit say China say ya sa experience we be no enyama bebra ye kraba no maburu na na ye deba anti eno kire say our education
mabuna nkomo Ghana nkomo ye unemployed no omo na omo China omo ye toys ne nyama de brain ne ekofaba
exactly ana omukuru mofo no anso no omutumi trainee ebi mo mo yes anyama no wonyini ni nyina no there is no missing link between their educational system and the job market. Nti we actually say your education system no there is a gap between that and the
industry
what the industry demands. Nti I was say to me esachra nyama bim. Recently ana UPS a graduate school invited me say me chair omo program bi.
Okay.
Na omo program no omo lecturer no emma omo group say obi anye product, so they should develop an idea from end to end till they launch it. Until during the day of the launch, they invited me to come and chair as the CEO of Vodec Africa. Miko PM wohono sadano in fact in sesanye bebre sha se in sachre bebre sha se koso mitri ewo ye educational system wo hwe group ba ko a omo ye product bi a ye friend metlash eno nso e chocolate omo de ginger efra chocolate omo de coconut ana omo de nyama different local nyama ya no de blended chocolate no na wo hwe omo packaging na omo ye na chese eye fe eye akono nti eno ka chem se ye mabuni they are not daft. They are thinking beyond the ordinary. Nti adentina as on mine the educational system no kuran so bi ba be we school a ye will be a friend thesis writing e compose mo bi a say ni paneti brofu so ontio e was so finding way etwere mmabunu no bebre kuran so ntwere om de komo obi na o ma eden atwera mo schools ne so gi ade na om de akwaku akogu ba fanya hwe 5 years time no makotu agu no machine nti adenti na yen safety focus students ebe school or the opportunity to develop a product from beginning to end no wa launch and also open so be choose thesis na no wa choose nti we have to come to a place where we will not make some of this compulsory for our young people so that they can think beyond the normal range. Inti minia nyama bi se na e wose ye ya ye betumi di asesa o man ne dachi na unemployment rate na so ate abafom.
This is very striking because I mean no se wo hwe thesis dodo a tertiary institutions se wo Ghana ha eje after every program. Na ebi mu ye research na ebi nye research no. Meanwhile course na omo read ye no e practical. Yet ubewie no ye say tro theory ne fabra. But o suggestion is say anka wo wie wo 4-year university education. E wo say amount the option say o pese wo de won saye bribi. Ade na obeye no e wo say e sha o sha se na uwie. E wo say a complete project. Say o pese wo de won saye bribi from ade na wasua na e kwan da ho. E na pese wo tro long essay no so a e kwan da ho. And this is the suggestion Adeba.
This is the suggestion and ebema industrialization akonanim. Ebema youth entrepreneurship nso ayede akonanim. So youth na ono ba be wie school na one obi a ono ne de ye office work aba ako compete e with the same office work no. Ono be jai na ono akostart na or start here less than 5 years. Ubun say wagina ne naso wa employ 1 2 3 nkofo a ono mo ye den etimi aboma ye adwuma ubun na eti number no so kakra tama ye nyini no ne ye wo bibia na yesua e wo school eno ne ye frɛ no craft nti se time ne ba be ko na wie o meka so bia nkoye craft
vocational skills.
Yes,
many times na ne frɛ no
nti sanya ma no bonzo the youth were thinking na imabuno no
kritinia hodo
uhu asi nti hu obi de akura otumi san da no ho kofie ekoye bibi foforo de ba because unya mask ese nti eyade a ewo se ye dwene ho ne yeye na menua mentwe wadwene nsi program ye ba be National Emerging Leaders Economic Forum sa enyama we nyina nti ne ese mabunu ye mbehyiam na ye ndwene yankasa ye daache ho ye nhwe kwan a ye faso a ye betumi a shape the future because ye will be a ye can say the youths are the future leaders. Say youth to know say that then we must own the future.
Right.
We must own it from today.
How do we own it?
We must own it through participation.
Okay. Yefa
ye hunjim because panyini na anampanyfo na ye gya ma omo no sebi o etina ebeduru yeso no mu ni ho. Nti o se ye ne omu bom ye adwuma no.
Ninya experience.
Ninya experience no. Nti se eba youth fo nyansa ensa se yetoto nase ana eba mpanyimfo nyansa so a ensa se yetoto nase kra esan se yetumi ebreje galbo ne nyina ye adwuma boma oman betumi afa ne ntuma pa afria nti ye kwakohia mo UPSA juada eba no we are going to talk about policies that will help shape the future of Ghana. Nkofo bebre akuku damoba youth na about 5,000 of the youth are coming from all angles of Ghana. Ye nyina eba behyiam na ye behyiam wi a ye toato adwene na ya hwe kwan ye befa so a yankasa nso ye beboa ye ho ne ya network among ourselves to collaborate because this time collaboration is the new global idea abaso. Because
collabo and now you think it say collabo say if musicians ne ye na almost succeed here your family business collaborate and that is also very key because we live in a society your subculture be and the Ghanaian subculture is say I want it all for myself me pese me nkwa na me ye me na me nya idea no aden na me invite you obi aden na me ni obi nyembom enti youth no cry ideas but idea no so chen ono nko a but opese ono nko an so no ye no di mfa so ne ka se wono na waye. How are you dealing with that mindset as you preach collaboration?
Nti ade we ya ade a ade oman ni nya fititititi anka businesses anka wo say etumi succeed enyini chen omo shase kura no sia businesses ni nyina agu ebi kura ho kura nshase da because emaburu ne de ebi mo esi so no de anibre ana ehye abrabo nase but anibre yemfa mbu oman
baby
anibre
yemfa business
nkoso mba anibre yemfa nya business ne waka no na odi anibre kura nante esika kura anya den empew nti Vodek Africa dia ye kire mabunu ne say collaboration is the new order in this 21st century. O hwe omo businesses anyina ba kese pa na dodo na e collaborate ye enne obabunu bi wo honoma wo idea kama ebi apese oko into agric why your research when we see dua wheat wo Ghana ha ebe woni asase what should you do woni obi a ono wa asase enko collaborate mo dua ade ni wie ye o se mo market ade no when we say wonni sika kora obetum dia fa obi adwuma de na wo se oye e wo se ofo obi ono wo marketing background na ne timi am unia oda chie wo adwuma emu nie nti bra ne nya adwuma nimpa ne so ba no nim se ne da chie wo mo beku no ekwan ya mbefa so mbeton product no mo beton nti nembre mabru ni bebre su capital na enye capital eye some of this principle no monti ase nti na ye tu ye ho asi wo se ye enye sika afam nko na ye bebo amabru no but ye be kire mo some of these basic skills eba this technicalities ye be kire mabru no no matumi de
and I think said the other soft skills also with the mabru no ye human relations because you see emabunu ni bebre so ni nti omo se omo mpe collaboration eye atesem ehunu bi pen the fear say we made ne ba ebi a entokwa beba the fear say me de ne ba ombedi nukre and for the other person no so the fear ne say nukwaredie o se me da achi wo business no mu so business ne be ko nanim if I don't call nanim kura na animanim he ya kura bibia kura ba na nyina ni tuemu a na akodi one side and spread it enti there seem to be friction because you who say ne be manage relationships the issues of trust, integrity and all of that the youth are finding it difficult navigating that space before
oba Vodek Africa ye betro say odo nti ne sign agreement odo nti ne sign krata nti uni obi tu anamo a na se okache ze minia yemfa nkrata nto so
amanfo so mpe nkrata akra o
mo mpe because o mo mpe odo mo mpe so obo be nante ache nti krata no mo de bam a etumi ema mo ye den enante eche because unim say oye we a ehun sunsunso mo nyina mo agree and the Bible kura come here says can the two work together
except they agree
so agreement and treaty in business is very important.
How to respect agreement. How to respect agreement. And for impenufo no mokrati mu managing conglomerates in a big establishments no there are trust issues agreement in sembebre ewomu.
Enya ya but sign memorandum of understanding, sign agreement and omumfa ni agro. Nti the list mo betumi is mo ni lawyer kora na. I mean montana se na monfa bibi nton krata so na mon sign. Se MOU kora mon sign. Na fe de mon nante. Na eno no mabunu ni sua sa de we ya. Omo betumi ne omu nuanom anante ache. No munye nibre enye de emfiri wo
nibre ho no nibre no.
Omunye anibre de ese nyama nti so mutumi yesa omo anka so me say unemployment ebe the thing of the past.
Yeah. The role of the private sector, maybe you be explore hono kakana ya maye muso obaye memu a uhu a lot of the efforts from aban akukura hwe ase ni nyina wa aban afa because ono na obey the political pressure, any punishments when you adwuma ma mabunu a nti bon say the solving unemployment in a buying problem kese into interventions like you see it coming from government. But is it same on the part of, and I mean busan say a huge interest our private sector no afa when it comes to bridging the youth unemployment gap ahonke kan wo soro na. Are there Ghanaians are willing and ready to support young entrepreneurs and put their money in their business?
98.9.
Manante trajectory for infie watching near Chimuno. Meka say about private sector now, there's more room for improvement. Because this fight of unemployment, and we cannot leave it for the government alone. We must work collectively. We must work together to make sure say we get rid of this national security issue. Because at the end of the day, when it becomes, it is already a national security issue. It's a threat. And the threat does not only affect government alone. Say obabuno no onye adwuma no kwotwe sekan.
Oso no beba. Wo
private sector na wo hu say wo ye businessman out mantam wo no. Wo no beba bedi wo.
Wo na Oscar.
Ukura bia security kura so nyɛ
papa
nti emiye njai okun ema government pe business owners must take this as a critical issue to support the next generation in bridging the gap between unemployment and entrepreneurship. The ntina me can we ye Vodek Africa de ye aye tu ye ho asi won ma open sponsorship as NGO betumi akasa ubeka wanuma semu nyina organization omombe support they don't see why they should partner with you. All they are thinking is that okay, you bet me afa enko 4-5. Well, it is enough for you to employ some people. It is enough.
Good. But
good.
Enough.
It is not too enough.
It is not enough.
But it's not enough for you to just employ 5 people. You won't go for more ideas. Obi here as far as 5,000 Ghana cedis, and the person will be okay and will be decent in this country. Now you to know not what the rent ground to me. They say a rent issue grab national crisis again in the city. Ope so go to ya ope dan demu ye bibi won kra untumi enye de enye. Nti amamba bru na frustrated. And it's na bebre because they want big money to fund their dreams. And the answer to solve problems, and we have to tackle the root cause. And the private sectors, they be de na yes say insu ni ade yan som amwa insu no mbe say de inyama guguma ma nyina yanom ama bibia ye. Nti they must
say and okay, because a branch be akọ galamsey site we think kind because ne dan onya scan tua dan eka akọ bi a boabe nso ahinkro odun kwa no fin because or the idea be common scan bi say opani me pay 3,000 Ghana cedis aye capital dan ka me dia share business ya say we no konebra sa a branch ne frustrated obubu na ketem akọ galamsey site
or kwako hese in 2 months obetime nya 3,000 no no de aba ye saa ne business ne de aba pursue ne dream na
EpaHoaDaben 98.9
nti ye wonkofo a wo mo ye biribi sesi a enye no ne end goal no na mum wenya mwanti no ode ne ti kofa ahwe so obetime raise a and we don't have business people on my ready say omudi omusika be so emabunu asene but opening say the fear so grounded o ebi be catch us say when you mabunu amaboa wo mo a omudi sika no koto we di sika no koye we di sika no koye we emabunu me di sika ma wo mo ahye a omantimi mpo ankyere me no omudi sika no ye people have real experiences with young people omo investing in and no a big issue anameboa
senior wo kan nokre machia impayinfo bebre omo no obi kura to me case recommendation kura anu ye dey ma me because obi wa me recommend no okogu mani ase poto obi nso to me catch am say maburu we me disika ma no okose no me kura meti ya se
bibia yo
disika ma mabu na obi aide aburo ne apa wahye no ebeto anansesem kire me eno kire se minjai papa yana eno kire se de nyankopon de atomakoma so minjai e wo se ohwe ba ko na obo ano na otumi so aba se yamfa saa adwene na anante a yabam beden ebebu a create more mess than before. Now private sector for asema kan ebu okro no ntumi enye de emmento obabunu no direct nti organization bi to say Vodek Africa ye boy modern ye wo ho ubetumi ene ye team up okay. This year my idea challenge year mobile be ye be awarding nkofo be 10 e wo UPSC between 5,000 to 50,000 o me pese me for 2. You are investing into someone's future and into your own future because life it is not all about yourself. It's about the legacy you leave. And the greatest legacy you can leave behind is impacting people, living your life in others. And to me, and beyond ourselves, and collaborate with institutions be to say Vodek Africa, ne the Bastop Boys, it's your Bastop Boys, boy, or Shasi, no, nay or non, and so youth or the idiomati. A voluntary work, but it shouldn't remain as a voluntary activity. It should be able to metamorphose.
Must turn into a business.
Into private sector, and say, okay, your corporate social responsibility, yeah, they Vodek Africa. Now, omo climate and sustainability initiative, ni empowerment, adi omo ye. Omo to me, abuwa mabunu bebre, no mat. So
won't mean you're a director. There are structures be a bit me a film. We see can be a bebo home buying a woman in this kind of way. Awesome.
Meno can say, Mame enka we down. In 2018, idea challenge. A branch here ba kwa ofri janga walwale.
Okay.
Eba ye be pichibi. Na ono adwuma no ye ne say oye owivi kente. Not in kente and no palm smokes.
Okay.
And to oba ya yesterday na we saw opportunity say mabunu ni bebre free walwale honom area ho eba enkran eni kumase ebe ye kaya ye na de na ebetumi aye ne abo omo a kire omo se ne ye chenam dan say ye de nam ebe sha omo nsa so ye empower guy ne ma otre nashim
okay
na me no ka say we training kofo over 1,000
wow
ewo ehwo no manka sambia me no ka say ko nyina beba city ya ekita pan eswa ade nti se private sector na etse sanyama we asia I think say they can make a meaningful impact. Now I think say the government can also do this to collaborate with the government sector. Omo making sure say corporate social responsibility no mu use no. Also to minya tax benefit.
That's right.
Because there's no monitoring. The organizations are not willing to do no incentives.
Happy FM 98.9.
Wow. Penny medo ase na ide nkomo na ba wiye but me so me de kakra be ka ho isane say we see it happening around the world. Ewiase sikafo omodi omusika and me ka wiase sikafo a ma me nka abrofo no. O he wiase sikafo a abrofo ewo mu no. E na abeti Bill Gates or the nisika co sponsor research bi. E na obeti a asumesi or the nisika ya research bi wama seed funding na yen fanye first prototype. And then mibusa Africa esikafo. How many research and the so-called billionaires of Africa edu musika shemu directly? Oko CSIR. Omo research findings based on practicals. Esum ho files not gather dust.
Happy FM 98.9.
Yebusa say omo to Lamborghinis, ni to cars akese ene Ghana skafo ni ska apartments, high-rise buildings. Enu na yesi a concrete jungle. But there are young people are every day omo create products. Every day omo create service. Omo here investors. But Africa sikafo at the talkers akese. Yeah, they lavish parties. Yeah, they call holidays akese. Near the bloggers said DH, your call party could spray ska. Sometimes a mebru ni bi nam party na sia omo kan ska no. Omo kan ska no de omo ni bu se he me dwetire pa na etugu nipa so sei. Da ben na bibifo a omo nsem wo bi ebe fiase e di omo sika hye e bibifo a omo potential.
Happy FM.
Look,
98.9.
the whites are investing in whites, so they are investing in white businesses. I'm not sounding racist, but nobody will do it for us.
No.
Obi mayeng. It's about time. Esikafo kukuda mwa yeti omudin, social media so no muji omudin no. Omo be fiase identify young entrepreneurs are omo potential. No mu disika hye omo research mu. Omo disika hye omo business. Ya brand ya so waye white king na e wo sensor. Onya sika kan ho a obetimi aye white king na ebetimi akira de kora da nanim. Samana da ho a before bedu no sensor ne be che ne say amana. But ni obetimi aye no aye no. Obi wo sika pa nko betimi e dia set up a research lab a emabuni ye omo peso mo eye nnuane ahodo e kan nnuane ebetimi akọ akoye research ahwe kwan a ebi a tomato paste
Happy FM
obetimi
98.9.
aye paste no now so wetimi keep for ebi a 6 months. Somebody should find money and say ma set up a food lab. Da many beti say kofo bi mpese me boss kani bia oje di mu kromadi. But we all know them. Omo si omo dan wie no mu bia no a omo de buff social media so me ehwe bi. Da ben na Ghana sikani ka say mi bie a multi-purpose lab ano. What na me kana say? Da ben na beti bi say mi bie a business clinic. A place where young people can go and share ideas. Now you fine tune your ideas. Some more. The ben be beyond the cars and the apartments and the big parties. Are we really putting our money where our mouth is? Ana. I ask him sebe. Daniel Asumeni, CEO and founder Vodek Africa. Into program near the ben.
Program ne juada ya
22nd
September.
22nd September.
Holiday ya de kai ya
Sajifo.
That's right. Sajifo Kwame Nkrumah.
That's right.
Yeso ye hia na ne vision interrupted deferred na nyamiadom. Yeso yeti ase ne yepese yesum na yeboa na yetoato adwene wo ho na yede eboa emaburu kanko ene oman no enkanko in general. Nti nyame adom adwoada emabunu about 5,000 yeshia ewo ho
yeshia
na de wanwa wo
mo beji gate fee
free nyame adom ye ye papa Julius Debra
chief of staff
to the president ekasaye o say obeba no ni yaba bedi nkom
chief de ono de emabunu hia nko ade we hunu no
yewura Canada Japan
and so akompreko
so
that's right
oba be
Happy FM 98.9.
He had a series on YFM and or addressing Mebunu, and we picked a lot of nuggets from that conversation. Baby. That's right. Campaign.
Regional Minister, Yankasa Yenia, Honorable Frank Amwakoyene, Asante region.
Okay.
Be free Asante region, Abba, because honestly, a baboon. Na oni ya ba bedi nkomo
omo bakobi monko
ye won painfo te se opon kroma mo Haruna Idrisu ono so nani abrede den se program we dey ontment na fi.
That's right.
Obi kura free mu wo UK Oba Richard Ahenkra.
Okay.
Every UK Oba be kan ho obi nso free Canada eba ni nyina na se omo ba beboa na ya she youth no and crying not ya boom with the necessary skills
and young crying with resources. Opening made us young fancy
a launch pad amom.
That's right. Daniel Asumeni, CEO and founder of Vodeb Africa.
98.9.
I've been excited by this very conversation. Actually, maybe a phone lines maybe a come wo be no so beti me do one abetumu bi. But the besi ha na mada openino ase na yatwa yenkomo no eso. There is another conversation I be die. Ene CDD di abetu dwa say omo research omo ye say ubi person running for the office of president. It will cost the person not less than $200 million. You get some? All right. Yabasisi ya.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. A branded draw, see happy on wheels, Jumedia Cassia, a free happy 98.9 FM. Yeah, the Bremo, Bekaya Hua, Nima, Medina Station, Yawada, 25th of September, 2025. A free nom yenu ekopim no, Sia, Bright, Nayanina, Yantanasinin Koma, Adam Puntu, and Koso, ye your cancro, Eba Yam Potamu Ahudu, our bra, Yani MC, and in Penufua, what can be a year, Ejani for, a drobber for, any obi biara, what can be a toasumu, a sinkunya, na ye ding komo, Maminka wo, said Dr. Zen Natural Deodorant, and as you see, one be bahobi, Dr. Zen Natural Deodorant, and your deodorant here, Ubetimedia yo motumu, a drubian kahun, and now soon, a man can be a mount, happy on wheels, and massage medie, and pound, Kayo, say it, 25th of September, 2025, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Nima, Medina Station, be there, be heard, happy on wheels, your voice, your power, your power.
Number one everywhere you go. Big goal. For the friends and the family. Big goal. Big refreshing moment. Big goal. For the kids and the adults. Big goal. Boys and girls with a drink up. Big goal. Everywhere the party day. Big goal. We go mash up the place with it. Big goal. Greatest in every battle. Big goal. Big goal. Big goal. Big goal. Big goal. Big goal. Greatest in every battle. Big O. Big refreshing moments.
Big drink. Big refreshing moment. Another quality product from Trillium Industries. This advert is FDA approved.
Some denenam. Wube kwan krojia. Wube tumia mane niyoma free krofo froso abagana. Se namposo full container load ana group page. Wube ni Shine Express. Metre Air Cargo ana Express. Enye. Wune Golden Stone Logistics Company Limited. Antonchia. Omo over 15 years experience. Wa global shipping and logistics. Omo futupa ebe buamu edume tumpon. Omo buonso de eda from boko. Ewo Golden Stone Logistics. Omo kura wo nyoma yema o. Onu afre 0502 609 222. Anase 0208 126 777. Na omo mwama weduma nkwanim. Golden Stone Logistics Company Limited. Delivering growth securing trust.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits. We are not just another service. We are your partner in unlocking sustainable income and fueling business growth. With prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land documents perfection, we are redefining what is possible for property owners and business owners alike. At Eclipse, we have built a primary depository platform, a secure, innovative space where property owners like you can lodge your documents and earn risk-free, sustainable income. For businesses struggling to secure funding, we provide collateral solutions you need to thrive and grow. Every move we make is backed by a rigorous credit appraisal process, so you know you are in safe hands. Find us at Adenta Barrier near Medi Moses Hospital, beside the West African Senior High School wall. Call 054 383-2466 today. At Eclipse Collateral Management, for property owners, we say, think safety and decent income. And for business owners, we say, think funding before projects.
Tovila Water Solutions. Tovila Water Solutions. If in a water treatment you define it, Tovila Water Solutions. Technical support for your water systems, Tovila Water Solutions. Water research training Tovila Water Solutions. Water dispensers, drinking water supply, Tovila Water Solutions. We provide safe water for your homes, companies, industries, communities, government and non-governmental organizations.
When it comes to customer satisfaction and professionalism in water solutions, Tovila Water Solutions is the #1 in Ghana. You can contact us on 055-2490-864. We are located at Titegu, Accra, Ghana.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
98.9 FM EpaHoaDaben dwumadie enie afe no adwene amemwaha mwakwaba eba dwumadie no eso enche na yesin nsem na chi na abedwafo nso abeka yensa ye ne omo adwenwene nsem no but enkomo baako ho a mepese ekọ ahoma no so ne kokodie ene ne CDD ede abetu mu se ene it costs a whopping $200 million to run for president ewo Ghana ha. We'll check whether a bro near other countries and so ekoso na, and the CDD is indicating say a day way could spell some doom for our democracy. How so? Yebedi ho enkomo enchebia. But me come for the amawa ne Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding 2026 dear no ho de ro na me body akyerewo. Say o relationship mu ana say o mpanatwia wade mu na wadum pempen so apese oye ne yie na o consummate relationship na ya wade a Happy FM you say bra with just 1,000 Ghana cedis you befa a car kanyina the amount from your honeymoon hotel amobeda mo wedding outfit intadi amobehye ni bibia. That is our cost. You want to call 0244-906235 na so person sponsor na so per enquiries obefre na yetimi de enchechemu ni nyina e de abrel. It will happen on the 14th of February 2026. Our on another level, any Happy Valentine Mass Wedding. I mean kwa homa no so na many opening or executive director Africa Center for International Law and Accountability ASELA or sounds a consultant Emma CDD on campaign financing. Me patre Mr. William Nyako or wahomano so including komona imbusa sa 200 million asemi ehho asem. Bizanya ko timenka Happy FM so ne memwadwo edo asewie.
Bibi Mr. Michao no atiefo nyina.
Megidi say we ahoden wo ho de.
Oh, nyame na oro. Ma say de mo announce bridal idi na je say mekrum so o se mo family hoka.
Uni how. O fa si mi gide mu ma nti nsure kire kra.
No.
Obani mami buso ne beto mu na me hu ya nam si na we su free he mo pa kire se ene se obi pe president di Ghana ebe cost no about $200 million and sana watimi aye an effective campaign. First, Mami Busa, moye den na mube hunu se eka ewo exercise mu nie.
We Juma CDDI from over the years. The recent ones now 2022 no CDD pneumonia study be the cost of politics particularly the sources of baby esikane free they finance MP and also president. And at that time now the dollar to the cedi 5 Ghana 71 pesos.
Okay.
And we were able to estimate from the study say the president over here $100 million. Now the cost of the study yes, near EVA a friend of validation. All my campaign managers, presidential candidates, and then Mr. MPs by and in the 2 minute normal confirm here. Now, the latest one is an estimation of the first one, factoring for inflation and rising costs. So that's how the estimation came about. Now, new president in Kwan, so for MP. Now, I want to estimate here, say, Upese with the MP, Upe spend the 4 million Ghana. 4 million Ghana, no. Over here, we used to be Upese MP in the constituency. Normally, maybe about 2 years for crowns and over a Bruchi party, no. We spend this car, we call funerals, we call development projects. You spend about 2 million during that process, and the other 2 million will campaign within the party for the constituency election, intra-party election as an parliamentary candidate. So as I say, that alone, no, the estimate, I was a very revised number, because we said the Sika amount for spending my delegates in Kumapua. As I say, the minimum bro, even 4 million during even the primaries. Bottom line, and say, cost of politics, also the MP, and also the president, continues to rise. Now, yes, I know, any youth and several persons who have a disability, who are differently abled, and a lot of them not intimate because normally no a ma intimate and resist cat because contacts so normally no person or finance them as in your bar. But I say, and the sun normally very dangerous for the democracy.
Okay, now, on Churchill Okase, when they estimates, Obiba Busa say, estimates near some more money near Abu. How scientific is this?
Oh, sir, the sir, and this estimate, is based on Opasa who ran for. Presidential candidate on the ticket of either the NDC and the MPP. To be president, or to be the presidential candidate, normally you open your nomination through party. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But at the point of even beginning to come up, set delegates because parties no use delegate system,
Yeah.
Candidates and making sure say party elections are polling agents, ward for all the way from the ground to the constituency chairman, party chairman, all the way in all the a friend is 16 regions no. Over making sure say on crop for na mere, on crop for be na mere. On be win.
Yeah.
It will finance that election not from within the party, not from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, until the anokradi new okra will make sure say all the majority of omo region no, omo constituency no, na at least ubenya about 2/3 of and you know secretary no ni sa no is within the party no.
Okay.
And then you have to come also at the national level. So what follow said you elected presidential candidate when this is impeachment. Also at the end of the day, to me passing free all the 16 regions. Hotel one bed down, it is a very huge cost.
Yeah.
And I say, this is just dealing with the party level. And Sana, who be a candidate for the party, no, who campaign in all the 16 regions. Because we are on a unique campaign period, defined campaign period. The election way, there now, you elected president here, you want people take office. Now, campaign is what I started, especially with opposition. As I say, we all these regions, all these constituencies, sometimes we 2-3 times. So as I say, into the cost, no, echo high. Into doing that campaign, Sisika, not just within the party or logistics, I will spend it, but Sika voters, and so and a year almost year through. As I say, so it is this estimate, and I'm telling them, we spoke to people who know. Almost presidential campaigns in Soda. And he estimated me 2 million. And now, my input.
More estimates anyway, more fair. Omo my campaign managers paying and more validate say more estimates no are correct.
No correct.
Na sani awo chire mu ide obi betimi kura ka say 200 million no kura na bia na a conservative figure because obi ka say ope president idea the very moment idea ne beba no ne kana shase anisa
no even you know I will tell you no so normally no ambition no answer na wo beba out wo beba yi wani mu say wo pese wo contest no na say enokra no na obi be say wa soften ground no
ho akom
sika ni biako because answer na wo beba out wo be publicly be announce no wo structure in such a way say wo kan ya na penifo ni bi so ayede abeta wachi so what I say enti no me koso no Bebreno is not out in the public. It is only the Yana Ehuno and I say focus no what's no yes only a presidential candidate all go around the constituencies 270 6 constituencies you know imagine campaign by saying you see as part of our monitoring monitor said MPs ni presidential candidates maybe bebia to the bebia omutimi kono nkrokro omukono akwan ni ayi omukonso a for presidential candidates no omukwa they have a whole delegation maybe have 2 buses omukọ hotels ombeda. What I say? All of those things, or your incumbent now or abuse state resources. This I know many. It is I know no. The can watch some necessities no, but the cost of politics no, it continues to go high.
But democracy in itself is expensive.
Oh, it depends on the way you structure normal. Okay. So, for example. the cost no related to the intra-party elections. That's the one say MPP and this person or parliamentary candidate, a constituency no.
Yeah.
I don't know. Delegates kakra bi pe no me yere. Nipa baby at 300, 400 bi. What I say? Enti no. I don't know. Yana candidates no try so majority of the people on their side. What do they do? Evidence shows they give them money. They'll be them to me will be about 5,000. Now for the presidential delegates remember the way you bring down the cost at the constituency level is instead of selecting a NIPA bear 400, 300, you have a party card bearers Kevin is a Domico Abinya, NDC4 registered the 40,000, and I say MPP for 40,000. Yes, instead of delegates, where 300 maybe you may film. But I say, and this is going to be part of the state support. And so the state takes it over. You are not going to be able to buy for 40,000 people. Even at the presidential intra-party election, you make every card-bearing member of any of the political parties, all of them vote. Elsewhere, this is how state, support it to bring the cost down. Because a lot of it, spending cigar, what they pay man for. The filing fees, compared to how much is spent at the preparatory stage, it is very small. But so there are reforms. I was here now, making sure the cost no more.
And that brings into sharp focus the very latest issue with regards to the NPP. Now, one hopeful announcement for her name say or also be contested indicators saying they will be contested BM. And amongst the reasons of my and it say one, and if I quote or say the unreasonable and unhealthy monetization of our internal politics as evident in the astronomical amount of 4,600,000 Ghana cedis being demanded from each aspirant. So clearly for the political parties, filing fee moment time wa almost ultimately raises a car almost the best wage one more party in a campaign. And the NPP has been defending and explaining this. Open so a flag bearer, I was so do, I was so resourceful, I was so team support to party. And so almost the BB to sell for 4.6 million Ghana cedis development fee bar. For that position now also open, you must be willing to pay this much to support the party. And you're justified.
One say your Marcasian constitution.
Yeah.
Don't forget, as I am Marcasian, a muna political parties free by. The political parties act, any accompanying legislation, in the constitution, they say political parties must practice internal democracy. The internal democracy, how the party is run, it must conform to democratic values.
Okay.
Until you ask yourself, do an assessment of MPP for filing fees.
Any development fee?
A development fee. National NDC for so there. All you see is that they keep on rising.
Yeah.
Now, the manner in which the increases occur, do they conform to democratic standards? So, this huge amount is obviously intended to exclude people. Internally, I can say, eventually, how much that people spend, a presidential candidate on the NPP will spend or NDC will spend, it will go high. Because even at this level, also 4-point-something million. This is in addition to other fees. Now, so this is will be a new strategy. So, how many people are going to be able to afford this? It is going to be a few. And the MPP, some of 30 feet here, they must always keep in mind when the process normally use conforms to democratic, and it's not just the MPP, all the political parties that set these arbitrary and very high fees. They are just excluding people. And it is not enough to justify say Ubetia says party. Look back at all the years gone by from 1993 up to today, how much candidate fees were. Enormous, but you cannot use, you should not run your party in such a way that it may run counter to the democratic principles required by the Constitution, which is the biggest. Parties are government in waiting. The more you demand, candidates should pay these huge amounts of money, it builds up the cost of politics. Obey the president, what the person is going to do, and so on and so forth. Resources, they are sharing that is why we must be concerned about the internal workings of a political party.
That's right.
That is why Constitution can say a political party must operate under democratic principles.
Operating in common way, Minyayan creating Kunye, na yen common in quachiri, ne expanding common cohe, baby Sikanaya, a tie free bar, and whether even the parties themselves no comply with Political Parties Act in terms of audited account and the whole bigger conversation about funding of political parties. Yempe Brena, yesi semu hunkunya wadama. Bedasi bebre, benemetie fu eni so edase. Openi William Nyako, nyame inshira bebre ne obre enewie. William Nyako, Executive Director, Africa Center for International Law and Accountability, ASILA, and Osanso, a consultant to CDD, Center for Democratic Development, on campaign financing. Ono ena otenen kano. Happy 98.9 FM. EpaHoaDaben Jumedini.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Nima foi. So wo Nima anauti ben Nima mamo bi kutubabi ena utiemia. Pacho tiemi ye person se 25th September Thursday. Jumakdie kasiye bi ba so ewo Nima. Me pachire Nima Madina Station. Thursday 25th September 2025 between 2 and 6 p.m. Happy on Wheels. The Happy FM ni sika mu. Near the Abba, Nima Montene so, na Yenemo Abedi Kasubo Mabedi Nkomo, Abrabomu and some more, a driver for Ebedi for Timemu for, or mine and Kasanka se more setinanity saying, Yenina Inshia, na yen discuss may or beba, na questions I hold on some more no, with the Nina Atun anymore. Dr. Zeng Natural Deodorant, H&H Gary Mix, and Asoya Sene, Ayede Happy on Wheels, Ebremunti Sawo Pebia. Oba hono mo abenya H&H Gary Mix ni bi ato ope Dr. Zeng Natural Deodorant nso a obenya bi ato ewo Happy on Wheels jumedie a ebeba so ewo Nima ebedwafo oba enche na yebetena se na yede enkomo no ahyehye so meba wo nso na mabie phone lines no kakra de ama na enkomo a nso wo no de atodwa na wakere wadwene wo enkomo hodo a yedie eho Jimaima mo fa next interview ni mra na menko Jimaima Mr. Mo Etwamu dwumadie ni ye den
EpaHoaDaben
anti 98.9 FM EpaHoaDaben dwumadie ni mekwa kwadi nkomo bi quickly na maba mate se enema bi koso Dr. Baumia camp initiatives bi ni ade ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ Dr. Baumia camp yɛmfa hɔ mra quickly na yɛnkɔ hwɛ ɛyɛ ne ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ ɛyɛ Dr. Baumia camp hɔ communication team member for where mo try de ni ye omo wen mepo okay Ose
Mr. DMBD so special project
jumedi any time down my elite da nti afei na mo she t-shirt na all right 98.9 FM EpaHoaDaben jumedi enie so yenko ne ne mpanimfo nkodi nkomo na yehwe ne ekoso Dr. Baumia camp Enoch Ake team member Emma Dr. Baumia campaign no mame Enoch memo ha boko de
nyame adom
akoda nyame amanfo hia me mbusa se na wadi mfie sen kra na wano ate saa no wadi mfie sen kra
mfie de mse miswa
uswa
you are small but mighty
insuo ni mfie ni de uswa o moso but wo be man kofo ate asese uswa oto aba
mbacho an
okay ene uswa
okay
oto abadia unsa na yesi bibi koso Dr. Baumia camp mo di bibi fufuru bi ba ede na ekoso bomi mu
okay enti no ni di kan minchia otiefo wona ohwe ni na o Facebook ni di ya eni etie ne se eye mabunu bia wo MPP mu
okay
ana wotu ohun esi ho ni etie ne se ehun se party no co opposition no
yeah
eye emebunu a wo party no ene wona wodo MPP ni na sebe wondo na anu aju kakra isan one or two reasons
okay
enunti mebunu a ye wo party ni mo from various universities especially in Greater Accra any young delegates ana yaka ye ho bom yen go ni na ne se eye upcoming premise da enim no yen ye be kan ye ho bom na wona what say yen from age 18 to 35 a we youth delegate a obeto abade yi flag bearer no yen ye betu ye hu asi ho atu anamon akọ various constituencies various universities a wona we youth delegate wo ho na ye ne won mo adi nkomo atwetwe nkomo amomo ate asese se no kre se ye petumi na se 2028 ye pese ye wi ni tumi a ene wo se wo de won toma bebo ye de ano na ye ka bomu ni ye adwuma e de boa Dr. Baumia efi se yen de ye gitumu se our surest victory or our fastest route to Jubilee 2028 is Dr. Baumia.
One can say a delegate.
Me pacho debi.
Onye delegate.
Me pacho ein.
But all target delegates are young.
Yes. Enti no ye sha e wo yen ye ni na mu no ye wo yen constituency reps ni zonal reps wo Greater Accra wo ye delegate. Wona wo de ku na no so majority nso ye delegate. Me ameti ha nso me na me kasama eku no.
Okay.
Which is choose Baumia win 2028.
Buku ni dino no.
Ye ku di no choose Baumia win 2028. As a cheni na ne say ye pese 2028 ye win to me a e was say 31st January ba koto aba no wo choose Baumia ni etimi win 2028. Eti no ne ye botae Nyetiene say in the coming days and ya start a bo aprobo yet yen constituency reps various constituency biano ye nipa mienu obeda no wo ye youth ye criteria no 18 to 35 wodwuma obe ni na say wona wo constituency wo no wo ye youth delegate no ye no won be kasa ye be kwa aprobo ye be sra won ye no obetwetwe nkomo ye no obedi agro eniama bebre ene omo be ye ye chimpo ni na say Dr. Baumia ebe wini power which is the flag bearer
youth delegates in kwana mo target penifone de mu hiamo
debi
mu hiamo vote
de etene say penifone ye hiamo vote ana ye gidi nso say doctor ene ni team ye adwuma yen so kakra ebetimi ye de abo doctor ne say wona wote say yen wo albo ni mu obeto aba no ye be target won na ya boa omo ano na ye ni omo di nkomo na omo mate ase die nti a e wo say ye to aba edema Dr. Baumia 31st January eno ne yetirimpo etisa ne ye hyehye won ya start ye didi nkomo kakra na enche kura no ye be launch ye be launch ye group no choose Baumia win 2028 na launch no so ye beba ye di date ene biaye ene kwan ye be fa so aye ne so beba ye go ni na say youth delegate from age 18 to 35 will canvass those votes for Dr. Baumia.
Okay, now I don't know there what is the catch adena emabunu no ehunu wo mo da achi Dr. Bawumia mu.
Okay.
What is there to point to?
Thank you very much. Yeshe Dr. Bawumia ene ne style of politics ne se no tie na.
Yeah.
Yesha oyobia all that personality. Oye very humble,
okay.
Very accessible. Na utie ne nso a one attribute edema no say very rich in ideas.
Okay.
Nature say niema pa opeso di gu akomu ne yesha ebeboa ye mebunu no eti etwa say yetimi boa no na otimi ba power na niema pa owo edema youth ene delegate ne MPP for ne Ghana for no ebebem enye se wona waka ne ntimi nya adwuma da bi for na aka no betuma ye adwuma na mom no se ye petumi na ye hwe Dr. Bawumia ne kwan ya wafa so ne politics devoid of insult with integrity sana wakari no ho from the time we were politics in 2008 till now. Yendi ye didi say ye petumi intem dia Dr. Bawumia and ye say delegates yen target youth obeto abade ama no na 2028 Ghana for etimi ato abade ama Dr. Bawumia. Enu antina ye wo he.
Enu antina mo wo he. Na o se launch ne de mo de date ni we ba later.
Ye beba yegusu egu akomu a ye hye very big launch ye be ye auditorium a ye be ensure especially Greater Accra one wo ye youth delegate any youth ankasa a wo various universities no ye be twe omuni na de aba na ya to nsa frem penimfo bi nso a wo Dr. Bawumia ka che ne de omo aba no wa be kire tirimponti a etwa say wo de wa aba ema Dr. Bawumia nti egu akwemu a ye hye we have a lot of activities ye be here to help Dr. Bawumia ye go an say 31st January delegates a ye be to aba especially youth from age 18 to 35 ekwa omo be to omo aba de ama Dr. Bawumia which is our surest bet and our shortest route to Jubilee 2028.
Chama me kwa man kan bi de ya mente won ka bodi na fa bibi twato e na ye mai musu won komo so
me nua kuma me say we di kan chia otie for
one bodi
me din de kwesime inside.
Okay,
that is the stage name.
Okay,
me feel kan kwes out kon
Happy FM 98.9
ade ba ko a me pese me nka enso de me nua bebuni account say ye hwe ye party constitution ni mu article 13.7.
Yeah.
When you read the clauses,
yeah,
A, B, C, or C, the presidential candidate must be somebody of a good character. Senior, I am basing Kakra Mekano on this. Now, Minyano can say, Doctor, our personality in Mebunu Neding, Esheno, we look up to the man. Senior, Sebe, Yenkase 1 hour kano, they are not of good standing. But yenina ye show party ni ma, we could easily tell say we na ye didn't see her say unko di enim in the 2026 presidential primaries. We can be rest assured say ye bedi inkunim come 2028. In the senior kakra ye kan nyina ne say we are mobilizing and canvassing for youthful delegates. And then any other youthful energy young men and women be more across Ghana who wants to support Dr. Bawumia's bid. Na ye dia call the election 2028. Thank you.
Men say that.
Yes sir.
Okay.
Pacho ye nam nso no enye ye nkwa nso ne nam ye ni ye teamfo ni bi nso nam ha. Eye me nua ba ko ha no. Mchibo Osiako or ye Tescon president.
Okay.
Yes, Emma Data Link.
Okay.
Me wo me nua Joseph Ajeten so a former president Accra Technical University. So na me di kan kai team ne so from various universities.
Okay.
Tescon executive president, Tescon members, and then youth delegates ewo Greater Accra. Intino ye djuma no so sha na ye lunch no to be so ye be sere san be biom na ya baba bon kai enso sa. E da sepa.
I did for you.
Thank you very much.
I did for you. Me da say na nyabuti na nyajaja de. Na na say.
What is that me go for? Say
na so tag be nyabuti na wo.
Na say hu amu de say ma be feel kakra. Say we de me many G wa say mebu say no mo de mo ho share politics mu. We no nya che say ye kabi ma me kabi ne ekonanim pa. Say youth no etimi involve in politics now. It also shape the decision makers. No? Okay. Yeah. Nti me de say omodi omho ahyem. Na me de particularly say omo so omo timi hu bibi papa or Dr. Bawumia. The other candidates about say omo nyina mo ye 5.
Nti 4 candidates no one more. Our man join any other candidate said Dr. Baumiani there. It means they've also seen the light.
Ekoye mao.
Ekoye pa.
Enoch me da say me esen hunu biem. Why? Me said that.
I like your communication skills.
Me da say. Where shame or calculate out that? Say happy on hills, yeah. That's right. That's right.
Very well.
Anyway, Madam was say, I wish you well.
Thank you very much.
I wish you well. And may the best candidate win.
Yeah, that's so akwenya nso amode ama.
Yeah, that I said nya media. We are winning. Okay, mami be phone lines in summary now come here di so far. Onso ba mu bi. Ana okay, mami I can only pick
Happy FM 98.
Never cause I there be. All right, mami from the first caller. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, senior citizen of Republic of Ghana.
Frederick, and we don't have much time, so let's be snappy. Welcome.
Yeah, very well. I thank you for this great opportunity. I thank my fellow crocodiles in your studio there. They have done a yeoman's job. That is the candidate all of us want, especially here in the Volta region. Dr. Bawumia is the candidate. No matter how the other aspirants directed their guns towards him, trying to destroy the good man we have as a bold solution man, a man who stands tall among all the aspirants in the race. That is the scare and the fear. That is why they directed their guns towards the man, trying to destroy the good material we have in the MPP to win power for us 2028.
Frederick,
my brother, it's not going to work for them.
Dr.
Bawumia, I listened to how he talked to the delegates in Ashanti region, and NDC media house is trying to paint him black. That he actually apologized that they have destroyed the country, which are all lies. And those people, media houses, we know they are working with some aspirants in the race.
All right, let's be snappy with this. Let me leave it here and go to another one. Hello, good evening. Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Pacho, nyame adomo udini baby afrefi. E monitor.
Baba ni o.
Baba Ganeti o.
Wadafu. Bisa interview on man here no. And we also forget corruption o.
Ta.
Now I can kura. Penipa was escawe not about the say you want because that's we need we are. Said can answer no the team we kura no. Sana na masana aye you. Ana umbobi.
Sana dia na kwe.
What is escawe pa the say you must what the president. Now we is anyone who scared away for the Christmas ana. Oh the power was no. It is a policy and go na ko na penipon country. Now, to say NDC and PPC, some more opposition, one the wrong phobia, what do I them so? Entire political party, if I had done in the upper you Mudo, and Sanya party. And once they turned for a election near Babet Nazo, near Yetima Yesika. Masa, Mumiankano correct. The Papa is coming by the man, then a company for matter of nothing. No Munyanti Shepa, or be the presenter, or the so. Now, so no, but you just go with you. I never forget for corruption.
Baba made us say, hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Namia Domehoya na where?
Moko Vera.
Udini baby afrefi. Yo, I'm really sent and monitor, bro.
Bibi, I recall Yesika Fosso. Yesika Fono, Sabio, a little more than. Only can you be yet to my pa when you submit my poor mouth to a deal, wow. And said we are so young, what and a very young business.
Yeah.
Any problem, Penyasanka can Obia, but a friend of I push Kakeja for the better on the bra. I'm like,
on count, so may that see be. Hello, good evening. Yes, sir.
We are a free Tabora.
Idi from Tabora, Ghana to you.
Michao.
Michia,
Ghana pay for any young Kwalaswa, I owe my name. You can't pay for me, can't go crafo, we can't more idea of my national monster.
Okay.
So more, Sebi, more pray. Chimia, 8 year and 6 billion in account. Sani Power, you call in China, pay 10,000 Edia business beyond farm out. But waiting as a cherry Edia Guam with match and 1111 city. Now, what the my may Aquasala and Yatraja Momu, Mobana Maras, Mia 4 years, near Sako to me. Ebanisia, Ibi, and yet only the opposition party. both the car politicians and more maybe NDC, but Omina is not coming. Yako abre atua bamam pay for age mamam pay for, and there baby who pay be either so be square the Ukrana. They say, oh, yeah, nipa be friend. Nipa na ka on na edidi e bon komo e bibia bi no nde ni nyina atwem ofro bi kura na a problem. I say oni mu ase on tunga kura da. Ba ma e wi fi say e 4 years. E 4 years. Em say at times e mo ka say e early say e just say odu abana ejuma e ahye ne sam de. Pefe say wo ye ejuma. Ba bi du say power no party ni e de ba power. Ansa na ababe di ni mu ana bibi.
Okay.
Abani de me de bia me before me bo abandi money no na dollar atra 17 cedi equal 20 cedi. Petrol atra 17 cedi 17 cedi per liter equal 20 cedi. Emu na ye 1,002 no atra equal 1,300 na and be gina so e dia bo abana so bo. But PM party ba grassroots are sabi yani nemu a ye bo bankofo anu e de ko sala e to aba no. So mo che sasis bi na mo ka say yes yo mpemfo na mo che sasis bi lo. Ye gi ansa na me gina as a president no. Okay.
Medase. Producer send me for 2 more calls. 055-565-7278, 055-156-3916. Na yemfa enkonkon ho. Kwaku. Amemo ajo.
Bibi mejozo.
Na ho ye de.
Erade adom.
Yedo erade ase.
Na wo so diamu e.
Nyame adom nso ho ye pa. Na nakuya mo aboatin.
Yes, baby.
Anaboko there.
Nyame adumo na also.
Obade adome ho ye pa.
DMB. Inshallah. It is possible. It is possible.
I feel what a sukra possibility ni mu.
Na yeja ko fadien. Me I believe in possibility and I also serve a God of possibility. Ti any there ye tu ono ye ma bibia mbu ya bam. Ye wo gidie pan se bibia ye de si eni so se be no ye be ye hu bibia say bibi obstacle bibia ye hu bia ye hu say even in the midst of negativity no we still see light at the end of the tunnel. And so once we are determined say ye be making sure say a candidate a winning election bam no wa be represent MPP na ye dia call in kunimdie mu 2028 say I said unketia na beba say ye fe ne say moka ye friend say Julius Debra o say hwan o ye de yenim na ne say Dr. Baumia inshallah ya me be ya dom na nkunimdie no abaye de omo amoto abama John Mahama emre bi no sisi ya kwampo no start yi omodi omo segu omuti so akase o we de say ya nu ye ho pa say ye koto abaye omunya mo ono mo omo ana mo spinning propaganda edefa MPP hu na mu nyina sesia no say abana da pa bededi.
Dr. Baumi about spending $200 million.
$200 million no it depends. I believe say yes. But say enye menye sure say
obi atuska ni bigu.
MPP.
Oh there be say mo de na hyehyɛ so.
Yes, but idea da ho say who call election you have to prepare. And so I believe say $200 million now can a amount for projected figure, right?
Estimated figure.
Exactly. So,
but according to Openina Olidi research, no, menene Kaseɛbɔ.
Yeah.
Also, mo yo mo estimates we no, mo frɛ former campaign chairman, and no mo the figures no to him, and they validated say yes. Omo figure na nya wrong kra. No,
you see, when you are making a projection, it is one thing that is very constant, and it's it could be more, it could be less.
In this case, we have
may say
200 million if so.
May say it could be more, it could be less. That's why it is projected. Sometimes the variables now be used and may differ. Okay, sometimes there are certain areas when you prepare your budget, you know, say, oh, this areas you have to spend X amount, but later when you get to the ground, you will see say nema beti masisa, and also in fact say me call me election and my project say me spend about $200 million election maybe along the way in the campo, and this is my projection. but I be the facts may differ. Say metimi nyanko for krampo on betimi aso masene ebi on beka say on be print t-shirt dey achemi and dey keka wan aye no no so betimi reduce me cost no nti ni nyina can be.
And is it not the case our politics is increasingly becoming very expensive? Of course a recipe for corruption.
Of course, that one I agree with you, and I also agree with this school of thought that also suggests a bit more on my ordinary voters, no, almost teaching almost share and the so-called delegates, no, any free almost single vote, almost to about a candidate is on by representing on party no crumple. If this is the benefit they are getting. Now omo ba to abano e dia validate omo nipa na omodi na base no krese ono na ombe represent Ghana no na nipa no enya hwe and the ono so be say well me dey say one man bibia me to aba. During 2024 election I took that upon myself say meji nkofo bi numbers na ma frefre and from
my den
like say be catch and so or candidate and sometimes only omo kasakra me we kra no kra I say my bokampo because the panel for wouldn't the panel kasakra sometimes in some of can kra no because me ni obi kasa no kasa onu de wato abasa say they want to ababion because they didn't want to ababion also what about onyam faso bia na say see onu me kasa say they ba school ope I think 400 cedis na onyema so de akọ dwem so okoton onya like yento ntisi ano de ono de wakase de onkoto aba no kra onha no ho o mane ba no so onkoto aba o kasa asem no utimu say
now we are telemarketing ofranko for now your campaign or
exactly
aba and then they tell you of financial problem and you vote to corona also onkoto aba
no nti o kasa na utimu say nipa no the way osika no it's a genuine concern ti sano no malkaso and the men sending nipa no sika no obi on won be kasa no obeka cho so me de me mama me sika men to say nipa no kasa sem no cheme and it say even me man sika me man nipa no sika no but say nipa no make some genuine request be out to so it is not out of malice enye si bia or per se one you say, I mean you say.
But it is also the case politicians also deliberately edisika influencing Crawford.
Oh, it happens. Of course, so the course who your friend saying even the just by election. Akwetia make I say video be a me share a Joy FM reporter or my life report to na kwebi kideska de kwa command or that no say camera say I feel say that's what so I mean Sisiano this is what it is, if I may put it that way. So, Sisiano, of course,
Abeye Sikasem.
Fabino, yes, Abeye Sikasem. Yes, Sikasem.
No, you see, Okase Abeya, a mayor, I say, or what did that? Me no nyadwene.
No, me say now
in the minimum say ye disikaya politics, but I don't know Kokusobe Kaya in the early 90s. Omo e deep politics no na voluntary obi ambu so obi sika no obi so mu obi sika uhu se tu hu ache people are doing the leg work and obi anka say no no ma me hwe intimi and then no it is the money before the work and then necessary along the line is it that more political actors ne be realize say no ade no me man is sika no nya de ne mame ana ye ne be hu say there be moba power na munye ska intini se ne beji ska ansa na makọ binim at what point ena ade ne sesan ya volunteerism no jaye ne beye sika money na hand back na ground
Maule who the answer who you are with the bibi
what be so simple but edi kan meko wo no so but mesra 1 minute and a very important day. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, government, because 2020 Yeshebo said the big push. Mamu for to Obama, President Mahama, with John Dramani Mahama, no, by president. The project be by a friend big push. But here this 2020 manifesto, Mamu for Anjiman, Anjian to Umantu Amama. But 2024 is repeated the big push.
say, in fact, there is a research. World Bank say, Ghana Hano, infrastructure deficit every year be $1.5 billion. Inti, every year be that infrastructure gap no. Esa ye pe kwaya like to bridge it and not to reduce it. It's one of the reasons why President Mahama had the big push in buy and thankfully 2024 esa di kwa no tima ufo adi atum. Nti egusua eye hu hihye in fact under Ministry of Roads and Highways any agencies na share here because one key criteria of the project is say esa quality roads because for some time now Ghana ha the contract bema contractor so on koye ye contract ni wie ekwan yo school adan yo water project 4 months 5 months and do 1 year when we say quota no so one key criteria is say it has to be a quality work. The other criteria is say a project no bin so no yes you okay we no within 1 year 12 months as we within 24 months 36 months oben hu no 10 years kwa contract no yenye wie so niema say no ya designing projects no a package e dia ko we bidding say contractor bi obenya big push project we no it has to be done within only 24 months. 98.9 na no so no omambenye ye dia share budgets na ya present in fact media no budgets no ye dia share mu President indicated 13.9 billion for this particular term. In fact, into next year, about 30 billion. Because on okati sort.
And then they are cutting sort for the commencement of big push.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like you have said, and then they are cutting main sort for the commencement of that project. Afienya. And in fact, or the Afienya Dodoa, Afienya, Dowenya, Sakwano, about 26 kilometers. And all the year near the kind.
Okay.
And it was around 1 p.m. President Frihono, Osanko Ho, Titrinu, ya free baby Titrinu, Osanko Katibako ho.
Okay.
Nenuno, Aya free Atimpoku, Ediba Anyanawase, Ho, to Betwe, Joje, Denu Aflau. And also no about 170 kilometers. All under the big push. But in fact, at Timpoku, Eko Ho, Ediko Plauno, it will move about 6 lots. Into contractor, and your contractor bako. President Nibota and say, contractor no, no, I like
long stretcher.
Long stretcher. And I say on Vientem,
Kokuya never me question.
Mebaso, on Vientem, Yachichana Kaka, what you have Kasabi, me to Kadian. Or no can I yes, you move any X, who can you move any X and Hana Muna move bizarre question. And no Gamian Bisawi, and you Yabutra. So, and now you're very major there. Akasa, and if I has mentioned a lot of projects.
Over 10 minutes.
Yeah. And the big push, I have confidence because we are want to ensure say quality roads. So me born Mampenya Baso say, sir, projects no. Baso. Yes, there are contractors now. Move it to site. And in fact, when you go Oswald, Onuna, or Adenta to Dodoa. As we speak, do baby or Yantuan car, but Mampenya catching us all
for big push.
Yes,
declare state of emergency name one abaso galamsi hunsun kan. Now deal with my question for me. At what point voluntarism in politics better than sikasem sa? It's a whopping 200 million sana waiting me I run a campaign for president.
Yeah, baby, I mean personally it's a worrying trend. Say politics. Who call Western world? I think either Sweden or Norway.
Okay.
Yentuauka. Who say who ba survey and you go into public service. It's a voluntary work. So I get worried. And in fact, who trace NDC history. 98.9. You realize that in the 80s, most of officers and appointees now who around those times, you know, Omo yenkrofo they hardly wear suits, and it's for a certain purpose. The national chairman will tell you, say, at that time that they were serving. Adibakwa Omakachiromune said, you are for service, like you are coming to work for the people. Enti enya wadwin say obabe pesika. So it was largely voluntary. And no more. And a survey. But somewhere around 2000, something happened when the MPP came to power. Adiana shifted. Now, among for Akoya say MPP for no buy no, they were like, okay, people help us to come to power, especially food soldiers. We need to, Emma Musika ana nti abue NDC for any. So what happened was that when the MPP came to power, and after they lost the election in 2009 and the NDC started, the supporters were asking, no, now more who MPP for and it became a pressure on the NDC to also begin to say, you are going to election, you need to look for money. So
for Funka games,
and I make a trust say, I won't run away say it's a game no sikambemu, but it came from somewhere because you need now the voters are saying say and a party people are asking you for money because your opponents
when a certain standard
but
with 17 aspirants now.
It started even much earlier than from 2004. Omwangasa internal elections now more and then 2008. Those things started. That the monetization of politics, free ho. So until they say who as an NDC official, who to me call Edwano, and now Unsampire, Kokachre, will be so on to Abama. And now, even to ask the person to come and volunteer, you need to find money for. And a massa sacrificial work, no, ako. Unless that your
accusation is that MPP phone introduced Sika into our politics.
No, they really did. Really? Oh no, Bibi, I can tell you for a fact, they really did. They really did. And you can see it. You can see it in their flamboyance. But they say we've been pushed. And you see some of our people also falling for it. Me, I have a worry. Because me mentality, it's public service. So you have to prepare yourself for it. Because it must be better than this. So you have to sacrifice. But if you are telling people to sacrifice, they are asking you that you look at the people at the other side. So you see, and I have a position on this matter. I say, baby, it is going to breed corruption. Breeding that, but levels, cost. Abain has to find a way and find political parties. It's a position I have. Bibi, you see,
anything say Abain fund the political parties.
So
I bet this car individuals do rural politics anymore.
No, so in a way, government will be like the state to be responsible for certain actions because you see, it is a wa ebia wa grow home. Maybe from the beginning you haven't taken care of your child. Edu baby no na asemu to me because akona no onyi no wan hwe no. But if you are involved or see in school fees what you are or see come di no man duane, you can be like you can stand your grounds and akona no or call wronger. Let me atiano. But Ujano say, oh, you do whatever you want to. Edu baby na you can't say. Akona no if he is going wrong, you can. Anyway. There is nothing you can say about it. So to be as a state, okay. I believe that the state must be interested as to activities of political parties of Andia. Sebia emrano nebe to me ayen stringent kakra so that BBC the state can really hold the parties responsible. Otherwise, it will be pretending as a dear way you fight it. But the state is also not finding political parties. Means they are finding ways. If you very illegal ways, and because who to me find there is no way you can regulate them effectively. Very so we need to look at it. The state must show some responsibility at the abemu so that progress be.
And I'm sure you want to respond to the facts that you're saying people for one more day.
Yes,
introduces into politics.
Yeah, won't say first of all, me started with my usual rituals. The kind of me fan check Mr. Godfred Eyim. Do na feno na hinkan the golden boy.
Kede
EpaHoaDaben 98.9.
Dache hene.
And you may chiao. A hinkan foundation.
Okay.
Kede. If she said the MV December you obey program be feno. Children's Day out.
Okay.
So we should expect, I believe, say at the appropriate time, date in Babana Ida Tuja.
Nana hinkan dache hene.
That's right.
Kede for her name.
That's right. Best somebody in Chama, me am boss, and then me am leader, me am flag bearer, me share nimu say December January 31st, delegate in the Beko confirm as the MPP presidential candidates you didn't call victory 2028 inshallah Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia your friend that hene in fact they said me say delegate me whom me nyanom kwara omo yi omo asimu omo so matisimu omo ye adwumasom de ama Dr. Baumia there tells you say the party has a future indeed if you see the youth as a more leading campaign the net say that's all no makasa we no so mechia John Bodu oba as national chairman inshallah delegate no so beto man boom mama na be national chairman then no so they call winning election.
Nana, deal with my issues please.
Now say minya nana be kase ye introduce monocracy in our body politics now. It's a very big
introduce monocracy in our democracy.
So it is false. In fact, we share MPP na ye pe etuache ejuma. Wakasa minyan kumano ya mobabe kasai. Bisa say obi na sponsor mana. O man na transfer hu say no.
Sadi we t-shirt o mo hye na echo mo hye. Mo adwuma be no mo yo munyeska.
Oh, and I make say even
cry. You never sponsor.
Why? Omo na di omo pemu
omo kunya ska we no dey.
Omo
na di omo fresh graduates from school.
The fresh graduate na unim obi on ma opeso ye bibia one city crumpa ya demand so fan ko school ko ultimate akade to on ntia no dey.
Ntia nyemo na mo discover politics.
Oh David. Na me nwa o ka say bisa no. Yen me ni me anu nyina ye ko ye polling station ye friend say ballot printing executive. Bisa ono ahia ne party na omo party no wo opposition po. Bisa say na ahia na edemo. Ye crumpa party wo power po.
Osemo na mo kire kwan no.
And I make us say, yeah, kire not just a muma be overtaking here. Not just say, what are you talking about? Is
conversation I have don't.
So, oh yeah, you mama party now party to your car, actual car different.
May party and say,
you kind of
inducement. And I make us say, ye induce will be a senenka, ye mama, ye say someone inducing and someone in sky, yes, you ever feel say. But ye chance a sacrifice. And utina de eduma ye koye enu se ne ewo ma yeti asese eduma na tu ache eduma na ye no nti we shouldn't expect anything much from us like from them you see but who turn no say no at least a week we are be say 2000 how opposition po nti na the whole Bible to say 2000 obi same masaja was me ko enim nti menim say on kind of correct but the me person me chen say yes it's really exist partly because sometimes you know when people go they fan say what woni madam fu bia when wonim na we your mates and I say bia woni no area mu na wa cooperate to me be ne wa wini ana bibisa automatically no ubon say no ne status asesa yes what I say nti obi akampo ana otiminya bibi fi bebi a adwuma na oye nemu ebi so on ma by virtue of the fact say like wonya bibi a say chale bibi asesa nti sa no next time bi no ka se on to abama o be ka se hwe wo ba na nimu wo ba na hu tama wo de start here ba se sia no wo call no wo si bibi ni enu tina de on ti say de bia MPC mega so MP on parliament on bibi enim so ebi mo on why some ko tom fie ansa na mo de akọ election ye mega so say bibi enim so that is what that is the perception out there say politicians no omunya bibi fim nti say ye ekoto abana say yeso ekoto abana si anya bibi enfi abana ye kwakoto no pa de enkoto
say ade ni say oto abane ma wo say na bra bobe ko nanim ye be ye ne kwan ni nsuo beba ne kanea begina so enso oto aba ne ma wia sa ne ma no wonya ono ne de kakra no wonya but wo live shepe
bibi
onya power ya wasisi apartments wo yire ne ma asesa nkwala ne school kra enti meto aba ma wo se mama bra bon komani mabra bon na ma ne nko ni but wo de wanya ho enti ne sa na tie de a ma menje me kakra wansa
98.9
betimi aka
enye wona matete electricity ni sa
bibi metimi aka cho se obi on ma be ka cho se ti se minim baby e ko campaign se o ka se ya yam kwan no ye se ye gusu ye se be ka se boss e kwan nya ni na bedi o iti ade a wo ye ne ade a obi e benefit bi bibi se den na meso me benya me o kan bibi a ono part say ono ne personal benefit ono benya
e den na mana basa
e na me kan say example no na me man say sometimes no yen me kan say yen the political class because me do
political class no ka say ho ano
me do
what ha egg shape opinions what ha influence among for views
political class
political class
no say this person
na I say political class no mo mukura to me
me say
Debbie opposition for you na ka political class
we senior man and I make patch and say that political class no sometimes no my lifestyle no so etimi influence others say nipa ye ne area mu ano ne on tesa here can MPs no so one kasa we need to say even po musika na cars o mu isu nyina no loan o mo gidi the talkers me boa but the perception is say unya winning na ye man car but they live on loans but the perception out there is say bibi wo no say bibi ni ono man ka omo nkopre sa we ni say ye nimu no na okita ebia okita cars getting bi but say o da cars akese nti sa no ono so say o ba se me to abama na me so say me je me share answer so that is the perception so it's a perception it largely a perception no na ma nkofo feel say the political class no benefit so much even though yes I must admit say ebi mu on mo so omu ye but largely no perception perception driven
Moving on to other matters. On the same subject.
Yes. Where your question? I paid each constituency executive $1,500 for Baumia to become 2024 MPP flag bearer.
Brian Champon.
Fine. Where your perception? Who the way election the last election elected Chairman to me as Ashanti Regional Chairman. Contest na so in fact Kodrian no election. No, you see pretense the pretense perception. And me position is monetize.
Oh yes, sir. We are not communicating.
Yeah.
Oh, kasa no yedin. Mona kasa. Unya brain now so address those issues. Me ma the opportunity say or someone na mo introduce you here. Okay, say examples now and we can say and one can. Manen kasa we are. Then you can bring in those matters.
Right. And my position is that $1,500. I am constituency executive back. Just imagine no population elect what you say. And we coin people for election and where a trend. And I have a problem that you are monetizing your politics. But say me can't say muna mudi buyer because here in this for I've seen people, members. And if you want to stand against a practice, say but you people can't you see what near cost for MPP and so because of that, some of our people have to giving. And now a problem, no. Instead of you be admit, say, I don't know your problem. Let's see a quiet be faso. Eliminate here.
Okay. Now let's make progress and advance the conversation. Koku, mame fa we shas in free. When Imani Africa ya adwene say private jets, presidential jet row. Selective justice claims. Any mass dismissals. Kofua mobile power, mobile you omedi. Any one more mode police air tata or mochichi womo. any private jet ɛho nsɛmsɛm any presidential jet ho asɛm ama ene goodwill President Mahama enjoy over the last 6 months ɛso ahwan Imani Africa said that is their observation.
Bibi,
Malusu goodwill.
I haven't read the Imani report.
Okay.
Nyaomu kano say yama police for echichi amam for galamse for na nkro for
just injustice, selective justice claims. Abronya di bine nkofo amuchichichi omo selective justice claims. I don't know for much.
Yeah, selective justice in India me nyahu ye. The abronya matter. Say one say enya ban na akache police for say yenko cha abronya.
Sasa mo kan Ghana for say munyaka because every people want power police for chinkrofo amu blame Akufo-Addo.
Great.
Then police for
no, but you see I say yen chirichiri mu.
Okay.
Ukumwa abronye na onu o attack police service and the IGP. Accuse the IGP.
Fancy comedian Enigma Hwan Jollof any police or Cambrampany and Wansem.
And the content of so no because now me per se
say Obama Pukwa say Kopusti BB okay no bakas on the police.
What I said, so enya aban say yenchi nipa no. I'm prepared to go into the conversation as to what nipa ne ye. But because we mentioned abronye, that is why I want to do the differentiation. Government is not directly involved, but say onu krapo no we are judgment na justice no di by OBATB condemnation echo. Even though me as an individual, no. You see, I've been trying to go into the mind of the judge. So all the ways are ruling the but even though say Obiaba who say it's an issue of say Ubema Nipani bail. As a lawyer and as a judge, as a beto in human, you can say okay, law nisi dian. As na bano facts near dian, you apply the facts to the law. Now I conclude it. Now who say a quite what fast so I walk George Orwell, Animal Farms and some no and who here you can say so. But what I have seen out of it is say the judge is a worried person. And now his concern say as a minor politics na no atem didie ayafa nyamani nyina aye, and he was just trying to look for a solution out of it. Then all the years are there no, and in fact in that's how I see it. Really? One who said okay, and I've taken time to read the judgment over and over again. Or say Obinsu yes sir, there is one Aka. Or say Odinako Akotumu. Then there was another guy. Who are there now? He's just concerned about politics of insult. And because otherwise, Mrana interest Obi, and I said it here last time, it's Ankuma can say, so nobody did Obi atem and your offense, and nobody do Mampeniatem and your offense. But to find a judge daring say, we know or no per se was setting precedents, and no honor. And the basis of the kunyina is questionable, but to be able to do that, I say he's finding a difficulty. But I bet you say he has worries. Say Atem Didiano must be cured. That was why he was going on that tangent. Or the Matisa occurring in retirement. But I have a belief that maybe another judge will come and take it from there. But politics of insult, I am of the view that if there has to be a way that we have to eliminate it, let's eliminate it because it's not part of our culture. It is not part of our culture. So who did that? It's a taboo. So in as much as it's a taboo in customary law, no, we have to find a way and eliminate it.
Reports also say konfo amoba ben mu ba be yi omedie no ama malusu goodwill.
Bibi
mass dismissal.
Bibi who can I say Bank of Ghana governor no buy no a dismissals be. But a children no or some withdraw some way no dismissal no yasa fast and crofo no. E wo musa because you see omanpenyina kasa tenase ahu say on mine I mean
and that is the only withdrawal.
No, but there are some other ones. No, there are some other ones.
Example, apart from Bank of Ghana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Omansan recall omo.
A big crap no,
but
we allow
even
them
with the BOG. A public backlash.
Yes.
A side pressure no nemo
whatever it is, the decision has been made. Say you withdraw.
So me patch say you can't use the Bank of Ghana withdrawal. And because the government is changing the narrative.
No, baby, even in the system, a bit more na nka say omukra omunko, but because of say anyama na Roma, they have allowed them to be in the system.
System.
They are in the system. And now call
system menu.
Let me give you an example. Who call emergency command, national security. For now, CCTV cameras no they're still there.
But why must they not be there?
So you and I are on the same page.
Why should they go?
Why shouldn't they go?
Why should they go?
So you see, this is a conversation I don't want to go into deeply because anka bibi apreso pa bibi.
Na se bebre mo yi bebre. Mo ba mo be yi bebre.
Na me ka chero say.
NEIP mo yi nkofo ho. E fra ho sempo. Science institution. Youth ni ma bia.
See,
so nkofo mo yi mo se bebre.
Yeah. No, the point I'm making is they are there. Some are there. Nya yesi eyi omu Bank of Ghana krapo no yasama omu ayewi. Nya and some of them too their contract staff omu
because you are losing public appeal.
No, not necessarily. But if Bibi Omanpenyi President Mahama, you see he's Obia or Akumapa. He cares so well about Ghana. And that's the question. The pressure on Omanpenyi party leaders, ministers, say Yampamu Bia, and like so that we appoint NDC people. But that decision has not been taken because Anka Yebeyes Adiana, a man for Bekufi, but it will become a vicious cycle, and we are trying to avoid such a cycle. And yes, say so. The Imani report, I want to say. I mean, it's a reporter.
Do you agree, sir? More lose some goodwill.
Government. See, if you are a government, as soon as you take power, you got goodwill. No, yeah. I know that me. I will not be pretentious. We will lose some, but I have a belief that some amount of goodwill is there. It's not for nothing that. 9 months in the 9th month, the MPP cannot even get anything to hold on to. Say, yaba bemwa, to me criticize yen. And yen na kufado there on over free Independence Square na anya say wa plagiarize speech. They shall see we contaminated fuel in some ba cash for seats. So they are already struggling.
Opache said there hasn't been any serious scandal.
No, Bibi. Bisame. So, no, we've lost some, but Omanpenyi na focus.
Largely intact.
Yes. All right. Omanpenyi na focus awoye nijuma. So, like I said, and we will not discredit way. No. Yeah, the do so like a bimwa ya atwemu. It's a good report we'll take into our strides.
Okay.
Bibi I say you're correct, you be correct because on mine na epese ye ni. Yeah.
Nana.
Okay.
Imani Africa report you who is saying.
Yo. Okay, me that say. Before then, me and make comments. We say the Abronya case no. When you say
the same issue now.
Yes. So sir, political saying goodwill now. This current government eluzuno. Of course, the kind of injustices cause war Ghana Maimua from the one. NDC for no better akunya so in same be pray akoswa just say police for no kwampo no you don't even see whether the police are really in charge because so Osha to say last week I say me saying abronya case you see then ekofa then ekoka abronya ekasai abronya was talking about the injustice I face wo omaimu asin as a NDC eye boni a ono no de man cost scot free but MPP ni eye bidia the same boni na bi and I say bibi eye lighter crossing the NDC in year no de yaba be chino say last week me catch us say last time na police de beto issue press release say omachi 8 suspects those NDC thugs now mobile honorable how akumsi no mo say na ye bisa say na ko fon mo so machi o mo prosecute o mo but mo ntimi produce mark shots of those accused persons no me kan and almost say to the extent say omo dey assemble court ama say court up grant you bail there makoye criminal offense because mako assault in Crawford forget about say omo honorables but you've assaulted them and only a crime now modin Crawford no mo say mo arrest omo mo ntimi am produce mark shots bia che say na ya mota publishing mark shots bia muntimi produce bibia okay ye feel say bia eno no ebia no a new trend say bia sisi na mo produce mark shots bio ena abronye de ne bai na no so ne mark shots ni kwan po de na NDC station radio good and a kind publish it first say ya chiomo asana police issue press release the mark shots no attaching mark shots no. So all these things, if you look at it clearly, I mean, you don't need any sense to tell you say these are selective injustices. Now, when him say no, Matthew say Ghana or openly threatening Afenyo Markins ni Nanabin mo say obeku omo no. And when mete say police for no say omachi say nipa no. About 2 weeks in you, Afenyo mo say machi nipa no. Then no so nipa na machi no so no so mo produce mark shot no. Nti we no eze fair say eba MPP ni dia eno de mo be chi no obia be hu camera obia hwe abronye dey say won say the whole media houses obia enya video nti band say na NDC fo no kwa de echi o ma yen hu om yen ti om nka eze fair obi assault NPP third vice chairman physically enye se bia apart from say or threaten Afenyo Markins so obekunu any obi say no when put the or threat or hit it in the crop for the crab bull ye fair a third vice chairman and so send the panel is still walking around freely. I may and it's almost say police for so much, but and also you don't even produce anything to show. I mean, how all these things that you are doing sanke koye to say MPP I mean share dampare enu ni ade amasisi a media pet dampare asem because dampare no ono Akufo-Addo kra ofa no or appointing no as IGP no ono ne ministers kwampo otimi chiom MCB meti say MCB ne police ni binya kasakasa ema police ni chi MC no e de ne call police station they to counterback minim say omo di ni tumu a. Now people were hailing the system then say, oh, IGP where they are correct, IGP where they are correct. But you were then deputy at a point, you're being a deputy IGP. So you saw something, you saw your predecessor, a Juma on waya, aka mini ono IGP na, aka senior amount for a born a predecessor na basono, aka so no so, hey. Say also to me bisa ho say then amesume ye be ma amanfo abom abaso enye ade a yes so glaring say amanfo NDC for ye boni a nanu de you hear no evil you see no evil but MPP ni ye bibi dia nanu de quickly makwakochi nipa no what is that nti wo ye IGP wo predecessor no atimi aye bibi ai esese ye nsedan ho ese a whole minister sticker no satam no yes sticker one sticker say dentina satam no onye minister no ye MP and also of parliament na I say BBC opentem na one of the minister be airco or den the car no edi na chikeke police for na chi no e bo ne car I think omo de no court but sad dey we ni bi mbisa ehun say IGP Mr. Dr. Yonunu obetimi anya sakukuduo no say obetimi ache NDC minister biatumu say for even this minor offense to say road offense obetimi bi so anu pokra no utimi nya na minor idea one kasa wo hu say ade we it calls for action say obi a threaten ne nyonku.
The report talked about.
Yes. So when him say threat, I think it's a 2nd degree felony, right? And also a very serious offense. And so omunam one free. No be ako catch obi edidi watem die no ye offense misdemeanor, right? And only a bibia obetimi asiu nipa no. But what channel say channel where power lies. And no say I go put two egg in your face. They judge be a man also make unnecessary comment as they say on also another power daddy.
Goodwill.
Again, yes. So all these things will definitely affect the goodwill. May example say me your appointment was great cool. And February, terminate appointment, Me put there. Like genius no mo start omo year 1 week orientation and omo year 1 month training 1 month training until omo 3rd week no na ye terminate my appointment until nka after say omo genius no ewia na yen yeso ye be start here dey na omo terminate appointment no say me no ke say me nti omo kai me nti Greek one kai 98.9 nti say me nua no be ka say Bank of Ghana there it was because of the public outcry. And until more reconsider my decision. And how many were they? Was it not about 100? There were about 100 people. So you cannot compare that. Me see mini Madame Fubi on also called GRA interview. Omunina no ya sake omunina. Ghana Water Company. Omunina ya sake omunina. Omunina my appointment letters in now mo show. So you cannot tell me say Bank of Ghana and 400 no to thousands of people are not ya pomo ya for mamba na won be jan we ka say see so mo customer lose goodwill na it is true but over lose goodwill it should be some bibia natural nya bibia one kasa self-inflicted one kasa will catch and say oh yeah 24-hour economy 3 shift nti ejuma bi on ma say bi baba no pa exactly it say say MPP for the former crampa still they are all Ghanaian. 98.9. Timo Posse obefa ni page mumwa. Anka sankofono that you start that is where you even begin your 3-hour shift or your 24-hour shift. But that is not the case. Okay. So what I'm saying is NDC for no goodwill no I lose so sharply based on these factors. And also the me person me catch and say one say no I'm for a civil society, no. I feel no man starting rising up, and I like that. So, mo the pressure to yen. So say, yen declare state of emergency. Mo says sami jemfina utimi ko jina we insuo hu insuo galamse insuo hu edi twitwa pictures ye video press conference no. And sami jemfino and ye tenenka. Say no we didi peche na no nyina ye ma nti ono say galamse because cramp on onte because ono power no ope e na okujato Sam George any mo mokeka ho nsem mo kafa galamse hu any mo galamse ye fene say omko demonstration right ne omo yes ade nyina ene they've lost their moral grounds. Say and put the own team cabion, say the almost diane says the almost fum sika nyafu. And no penny here. Nanipan kwan, Crofona, young Ghana for ordinary Ghanaians now more castle more quamayeno. Say and put the Sisiano, your destiny, their shensa. Sisia, omuna wabem, omunian supanum, me so say more to no crown super, to more to no dream will be on. That is why I say ordinary four soldiers no. As more take your more destiny to their hands. Me every day says and at least there's growing. What him say all this thing came on the back of the press conference now president because say no first number 4 sir president on kasa no podium who say no my din because they were still observing how things will go but the moment now papa no e kasa ya no kasa ko prepare no e ko organize this press almost friends
presidential press encounter
no and more mom no ko expose no ho Emma says obi ehu say sisi ano ono dwin sika obenya free galamsey no esen nsuo no na esese esen ye fe ne say ye asase esese and the kika. So clearly he has lost touch with reality. Clearly this goodwill, and I can tell you say ne so muka say Imani and I say whoever episode sign conducted another research survey in relation to goodwill winner. By this time, a number is a negative. Based on one kasane or trans say galamsey no there almost
reluctant to declare state of emergency.
You were reluctant, but if it were better pill, or unim say I did win and yet but and never sa Yaria.
Happy FM.
You told Nanado. You see, me, I like people who are very honest people. Okay, you should be bold enough to say, oh, Nanado, my sorry, say, no, me more pressure, say, moment declare state of emergency. Let me name the team. But see, I may be who who say, no, Charlie, I did with me declare state of emergency. Mbwakra. And you people will appreciate the fact, say, yes. Oh, and they say what me pananado Chelsea Sadi win because me who force so here and look can't be me sure say nanado
the NDC will tell you say Mahama as a person and Kase only declare state of emergency. You can point to functionaries of the NDC, but not Mahama today who is president.
So even on one Kasa ne spokespersons no crack can be.
Yeah.
It is a spokesperson eka bibia to say wo minim say de bia all represent Happy FM. De bia na wakoka bibi na Happy FM for entimi issue disclaimer. 98.9. Almost support to asema woka no. There's no way president betimi are insulating him from this. There's no way. And no kind of okoka krampa obese asem no.
Only a minister of lands and natural resources or support two calls for state of emergency. Foreign Affairs Minister or support two calls for declaration of a state of emergency. But today, and they are all cabinet ministers.
But
in principle, the NDC supported the
that was when they were in opposition.
Emergency.
No, but that was when they were in opposition. But almost power no. They've never even talked about this.
That's what I'm saying. I've mentioned positions so mukure ne. Until they cannot excuse themselves. And I was just saying that to wrap you up and my transition to myself Galamsey pressure and amount you. And someone declares state of emergency. Where is the political will?
Bibi, a minute on this one. Under IGP Yohonu, Omu arrested your vice chair Azoka because you say wa attack Chairman Buga. Chairman Azoka oyendisi ni ye wo man mu ha ye tie say
Azoka example now my
Oh, me say no.
So my one example.
No, I have. Mami, because time no.
Balance is key in this job.
Okay.
Right. As an example, here, Azoka was arrested about a week after the no. Two. Azoka was arrested the same day he was granted bail.
But
Abronya was arrested. He was not granted bail. They no court. They denied a bail. I mean, how can you compare the two?
No, but Bibi, you didn't call court. No,
me say Bibi. Ablikumanov by election. NDC for way party for now almost omobu way how I come no. You prosecute you, in fact, you are convict you.
Who are they? His point is that where police for chinko force are pictures about me.
But Bibi, these days, don't you see what the police will do? In fact, pictures no crowd the babontin crowd, they blare, they
sanko for no much pictures I blare crying.
Oh, Bibi, and it's good for you to even question the police service. Oh, yeah, fair. Because it's an announcement about now it's your court. Yeah, prosecution. Now you see a more report to be a new one. Then we need to question the system. Final to change. Now, how comes now no on nam ho okra like weapon of offensive weapons? Ano pepper spray. He's walking free. Obian Bisano. The minority leader. There was a protest.
Self-defense is allowed.
Hey, into pepper spray.
And now, charge you
pepper spray at the police station. Bibi at the police station.
No, or the disrupt elections, no. She only used it when your people charge.
No, at the police station.
Yeah, but or the quiet day, or the disrupt elections, nana.
But you saw what happened. Oh, and
I only saw the pepper spray when people charged on her.
So I just said, "I'm not going to she has a certain mindset. How do you call her? And that's the point I'm making. They say minority leader. Omo protest. I don't know. Okobo police ni assume. No, I'm saying so. See, there is an IGP who is an NDC oriented on MPP 4 year there. And America say this is the same IGP. Ejuma wa ye ni wachiche NDC for MPP for no nam ho. That's all I want to establish.
NDC.
Yes. Listen, the call of Catholic Bishop Conference. Yes. I don't have anything against their call. You see, on minor idea. So they have a position, and they've been championing this position for a very long time. But I don't believe, say, any Omampenyi, President Mahama Abain, they are speaking across purposes. There is a report, and on that basis, say, one of those calls came from Yankasa, a national organizer. Say, some of the members, we task force now, operation now, some of them are collecting money. On that basis, you withdraw task force. It's an issue. And so we need to align the task force, any NIMOS, National Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, ejuma omu ye no. Ese aligning omu juma omu ye no. Ese omu yembum. So ya withdraw. And they're also calling for stop this. What is this? Stop this. Stop this. Ono krapono the way Minister of Justice and now Attorney General Beka say he's under investigation. He is. So and what's your point? Nyame can say baby ayo ene. Omampenyi has been specific. Say no state of emergency no. Will be the last resort because we have laws that we use to fight illegal mining, and it's not like the past. And I'm saying that they should wait for the president. Say 9 months, any task force, and we are not seeing any change in the fight against illegal mining now. Maybe a state of emergency will come in, but I have confidence in President Mahama because your promise say he will fight illegal mining. And I have confidence in him that fight. He will fight it and we will show, say, we will defeat illegal mining. And say party here sika for Libya. Munko ejuma emphasis Cambre party. We will not do that the MPP did.
Okaso confidence o mabe mu krampo anam.
Arena ya be miribesi hanumada na ekuamu aboatia se okasama MPP numada Koku Mawule na negbe okasama NDC meda Joel Sanko numada Jemima se and of course Joyce. Bidine Bismark Brown from BB.